What's up, everybody? Hello, how you guys doing? I'm looking at chat. Yes, Marissa, we are toasting. We're gonna be roasting and toasting. Gene, my dude, I am yours. I now belong to you. So, people, speaking of belonging to each other, my baby's back, and it ain't Jet. It's Alan, my other baby, my side bitch.
I am back. Now the show is ruined.
Shit. Now people are probably gonna be saying that the show is ruined without you here because I was playing Warzone constantly. But you know what? I don't care. I like fucking playing Warzone. Goddamn, it's been fun. I won a bunch of times. I won on stream. It was some good stuff. But Gene's like, ooh, sexy alley. Ooh,
yes. With a 1.
Yeah. Wait, did he do it with the 1? Oh,
yeah,
he did. See, you know what though? Okay, I can read now because I have a big screen.
Oh, hey, yeah. Jet taught you the 2 weeks.
Fuck you. No, Ganja. He did not teach me how to read, by the way. Let's not fucking do that.
No, this is getting better and better. Please keep not finishing your sentences.
But the thing is, though, this monitor, there we go. Dude, I swear to God, I'm going to get, like, Alzheimer's so fucking fast. But this monitor was actually bought from Ganja Guru. He gave this to me. So I can read, but unfortunately, I was reading through the XSplit. So I couldn't see because I was reading through the XSplit. But now that I have my chat on the side over here, I can look at it, can read it, I can see it. Everything's cool. It's not hurting my eyes.
That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah, motherfucker. Jed, how you?
I literally didn't say anything, but sure.
You were laughing. You had a smile, and that smile means nothing but badness.
That's you, and possibly Jet.
I just changed the group chat name for June tomorrow.
The real treasure is the gay we made along the way. Yeah, that's fair.
Treasure is the gays we made along the way. Well, okay, that's
Wait, we made gay people along the way? How do we pull that off?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like reference fucking like we're basically our own Chippendale Rescue Rangers. It's like reference porn over here.
Rescue Rangers.
Listen, the real treasure is the gays we made along the way.
I'm Blackie Chan. What's up, Blackie Chan? Hey, dude. I haven't seen you in a while in the chat, but then I think the last time I ever like heard your voice or saw you on a thing was like in DT Discord. So, dude, I want you around this community a lot more often, man. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for posting that.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I want you in the fucking chat room at fucking 9 o'clock Tuesday. You know, whatever the fuck. But anyways, I'm so glad you guys.
Is that what you're doing for 2 weeks? You're cutting promos?
Oh, I cut promos all the time. You don't even know. Like, especially like when I'm mad at you, I'm just like kind of like.
Yeah, I don't watch the fucking whatever you call. I don't know if you still call it the chat attack or you have 17 different names for the shows you don't do anymore. But you're like constantly talking shit to me when I'm not around.
Wait, what? No, I wasn't even referring to that. I'm saying like I'll go in the bathroom and like talk shit. Like I'm like practicing the count, going to tell you off.
I assumed you did that on the post shows, because you've done that before plenty of times.
Dude, you do that. Wait, I've caught you. I've
literally done nothing but like say good shit about you,
and then right after you say some shitty shit. You do that all the
time. Oh,
like,
you
like with Batman.
No, when Dude came out,
you did 10 videos.
You spent a week talking shit to me.
Well, yeah, to you, like a man.
No, on the post show as well. You even told me as much.
Well, I just want to make you mad. I lied to you. I wasn't talking shit.
Oh, bullshit. This fucking recordings.
Yeah, well, show them. Where's the fucking receipts? Show me the receipts.
I've literally popped into shows where I just see you talking shit to me.
You're full of shit. No, but the thing is, okay, since you want to do that, I'm going to say when I caught you talking shit. You were talking about Batman for like 10 twitch.tv/Berman Alley shows, okay?
Goddamn right.
Plug. But you were doing that, and even if you're playing like fucking Fortnite, it was like still Batman's right there like, and today we're going to be playing Fortnite. For Gotham.
You bring up wrestling every chance you get.
Bullshit. People.
You literally just talked about promos 30 seconds ago.
You said promo first. You psychopath. Yes,
but you literally brought up the whole thing. Someone saying in the chat like, "Oh, what you in the Discord?" And you went to a Stone Cold impression.
No, I didn't. I just said, "Ugh," because like there's men who go, "Ugh," not all wrestlers.
You literally went, Jet, did he go into a Stone Cold impression?
Dude, Stone Cold never does this.
I don't know what he does. I don't watch wrestling.
I think that's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, and I fucking hate Hulk Hogan. What the fuck are you talking about?
Still wrestling.
You said promo first.
Yes, but you were doing the mannerisms of that. That's the only reason I said
the word. Oh my god, this is... I haven't had an argument like this. I feel good. This is actually good. I'm actually like legitimately smiling. I missed you, you fucking moron.
I hate you so much. Damn it. So much. Now continue to talk shit about me because that's half
so the Batman thing. You did this over and over. And I was like, he must know I'm in the chat. But I was watching on Twitch. Like, how can he see I'm in the chat? But like, you literally did this thing where like you literally. Thank you, Mauricio. Yeah, exactly. He said that. But anyways, you would say like, oh yeah, so some people don't like when Batman does this, like that fucking idiot Nick Diaz, like he just
I
he's
literally
like,
didn't say that, but sure.
Yep, and then he said like another thing is like I really like it when like they have like the same like storyline where like they had to maintain the whole storyline about his parents dying. They need to keep that because some people like Nick really just doesn't understand about how that's done, and it's like what the like I don't even like this shit.
Okay.
Why am I
you decided to make up a story and then put a little kernel of truth in the second one. The second part did happen. But you also forget that was probably one of the 2 times in the fucking month I was streaming that I said anything bad to you ever.
And there's one more.
Constantly.
And there's one more.
I know.
This is my favorite.
That's why I said 2.
No, oh well, there was more with the Batman thing, but I'm gonna just whatever. We'll agree to disagree.
Sure.
But there's one that we sure the fuck cannot agree to disagree because I know other people in the chat that remember this because I made a big deal the next day. It was hilarious. But when you talked about Snowpiercer with fucking Hanan,
I know. I want to point out that it wasn't about you. When I said that it was highbrow, that wasn't about
with Bittersweet in the chat.
You just took it as that to yourself.
With Bittersweet in the chat, and she likes the movie. You're like, you literally said this. You're like, huh? I understand that people don't like it, but it's just like sometimes it just goes over people's heads. It's just,
that happens all the time.
That's like it's like you call me stupid.
I didn't say that went over Nick's head. Oh, that went over Nick's head. No, it goes over people's heads sometimes. I also said like it went over my head the first time I watched it. But again, you took the little. Oh my fucking god! You take the little fucking things and just ignore the rest. You spent a week talking shit when Dune came out. A week.
I was joking.
Oh bullshit!
I was joking. That movie's fine.
But anyway, so as far as the Batman shit, it's like Batman's my favorite fucking hero ever. I will always enjoy everything. I just finished reading a comic book, Batman Hush, one of the fucking pillars of the Batman like mythos, and it's fucking amazing. But as far as vacation, I do have a Batman related story, which is kind of fucking hilarious. So okay, 5-hour flight to get. So basically, everyone knows I went to Vegas, wait for Ganja to show up, so we can talk about EDC. So maybe today, maybe tomorrow, who knows? But on the plane right there, it's 5 hours. So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna watch The Dark Knight and the Batman back to back to be able to compare them. Which one do I like better? What does better? That kind of shit. Yeah. So I'm sitting on the plane ride, and there's a seat in between, and some dude just in there. We start chatting up because we're both going to EDC, having a quick conversation. He's a cool guy. So plane takes off. I get The Dark Knight ready. I'm watching 30 minutes in, and just because it's on a plane, it's tough to watch it because you get headaches, lightheaded, stomach hurts. So I'm looking around, and I see the guy on his iPad. I'm like, "What's he doing?" Motherfucker's watching the Batman.
Oh, so you two were like next to each other, like 2 gay guys. Right?
Pretty much. And I knew you were gonna talk shit because you see,
the real treasure is the gays we made along the way.
Yep. And he's watching the Batman. I'm laughing my ass off because I was debating which one I wanted to watch. For the first time in my life, I was debating a different movie on The Dark Knight, and I just look over. We just talk about Batman for like the next 10-15 minutes. Yeah, and it was fun as hell.
It's cool because like while he was watching, he's like probably watching it like on his phone like this, whatever. And all of a sudden, like one hand goes over here, and he just starts going like, he just starts jacking him off, Yeah,
it was fun.
You like Batman too? You like Batman too, buddy? Yeah. Oh, Robert Pattinson.
I'm sure if you were watching fucking Stone Cold take a shower, and someone else was watching Stone Cold take a shower, you two would fucking be enjoying yourself.
For one, Stone Cold would never take a shower.
What?
I don't know.
Have you ever read Batman Odyssey?
I wasn't being homophobic. I'm not scared of him doing the thing like this. I'm not phobic of that. He can keep doing it all day.
I knew Nick was gonna say some shit when I brought that story up. I wasn't sure exactly where he was gonna go, but this makes sense.
It's okay though. Hey, you guys had something in common. You guys like shit movies. Not just me. The Batman's good. I like the Batman. And the Dark Knight are great.
I am upset though, just because of just how watching shit on planes is. I got through The Dark Knight, but I only got an hour into the Batman. I'm like, fuck, I didn't get a chance to finish the Batman.
So really quick, Black and Shan has a question. He says, "Have you ever read the Batman Odyssey?"
No, I've not actually. I haven't looked any more Batman comics in my fucking life because I've read like almost the last for a while now, probably the last year. I've been doing this with reading like classic Batman comics, and they're all fucking amazing. Like Batman Hush is an incredible fucking story. Boy, the animated movie fucking sucks.
Is this from this comic? Look at that.
I have no.
Look at this. He's like, I'm Batman.
He probably got taken over by some bullshit because that's fucking creepy as shit.
No, so look at this synopsis. Batman on the verge of killing man for the first time embarks on a journey of self-discovery that also may reveal secrets about his enemies and allies. So, kind of cool. Do you know?
Vague, but sure.
Do you know of Neil Adams?
No, I do not know. Like I said, I'm not really versed. Like I've read comic books and I'm reading more and more now. But as far as comic book writers, I don't know them as well as other people do.
Yeah, let me just look at his books really quick because I'm curious, and plus we never get to talk about this. So, he says the or he does the Green Lantern 1992, Batman
Yeah,
Illustrated.
it's
Yeah,
weird. I've read a lot of comics, but I've never actually read a Marvel comic ever.
oh yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, because you want to read good stuff, so you don't want to do that.
Well,
I get
yeah, yeah.
that.
Well, I mean, I've read a lot of mostly DC. I've always been a D. Like to me, it's like I love Spider Man. Who doesn't? Wolverine's cool as hell. But to me, it's like I've never really put my flag in the Marvel camp just because like I like their heroes and they're colorful, but like DC to me has always had way more interesting shit going on. From just the focus on the philosophy versus like, hey, we're gonna make every character relatable. Versus, that's what Marvel likes to do with their characters. Where like, hey, we're gonna make them more human than the DC characters, or we're gonna focus on relatability. Like you can actually see them as real people. Whereas the DC, they're mythos. They're like the Greek mythology. So I've always focused way more on their stuff because they tell way more interesting stories and way more metaphorical stories. So that just became way more interesting. Like I'm reading comics that are like 20, 30, 40 years old and they're still incredible because they were not written to be like, hey, Spider-Man's gonna say a quip about World of Warcraft. It's like, no, this is a story you can read in 100 years.
But Jay, I'm gonna ask you really quick because I know you don't read comic books a lot. You probably read a few, but I don't know if like you really.
I thought you were gonna end that like on like I know you don't read. And I was about to say I sure don't.
But the thing is though is like I know you read manga, so it's like what is something that you feel like why would you prefer manga versus like the comic books? Is it the way it's drawn? Is it the characters themselves? Is it the stories themselves? Is it something else? Is it just like a comfortability thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
it really just goes into like what you prefer. With mangas, a lot of the time, if they're not something like slice of life, whatever, their stories tend to stay on track, and they only really have like one story versus a comic that might like sprint off with one character doing like multiple things, and like you got to keep track of that with some sort of board on the wall, like pinned to one thing and another, like oh this universe, this universe, this universe. While a manga, we usually most of the time just stick with just one book, like just one series with that character, unless they do make maybe one or two spin-offs.
Do you know what would be considered like the manga equivalent of like something that's lengthy as a One Piece? Like, is there something that's like it just won't fucking end? It just keeps it just keeps coming out.
A comic equivalent?
No, no
Most
manga,
comics.
a manga equivalent of because I mean I'm talking about One Piece the anime, but like, is there like a written version of something that's like as long as
Well,
what that show would be?
the One Piece manga is longer than the anime.
Oh,
Well,
really?
Berserk as well. Berserk's been going
Berserk?
for like 20 fucking years. And
No,
unfortunately, I guess it's over.
Berserk actually isn't that long.
Oh,
The writer just like the writer from Hunter x Hunter took a lot of breaks, which makes sense for the creative Berserk to do that. Rest in peace. His art is very fucking detailed. So, and then
Yeah,
I don't
look at
think he
this.
had any like assistants or anything either. So he did all that shit himself.
This looks amazing, to be honest.
I've never read a manga in my life, and I kind of want to start just to see if I'd enjoy them as much as comics. And Berserk's always been the one that's been on my list because everyone keeps saying it's like the greatest thing in the world, but it's like one of the reasons I didn't pick it up was one because I think manga's trash, and two, what was it? It just never ended, and I have a thing about starting something that just never ends. Like at least
Yeah.
with some of the comics I read, they're contained stories. Like again, a bunch of the Batman shit I've read, they're contained. Like this says a start, middle, and finish, and then they just took shit about that and made it into other Batman stuff. But something that never ends, I can't really do that because like, what if I finish it? Now I gotta wait. Like Hunter x Hunter, I fucking love the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Now I gotta wait 20 fucking years for another episode.
Yeah, JP in the chat. I don't care for the tone, but the art is gorgeous, which is cool. Yeah, I'm glad that people can see that whatever with these like oh it looks pretty good, but like may not be my thing. For me, the only comic book I ever read was actually and I got this with my soundtrack of the second movie, City of Angels, but The Crow. I fucking love like what they did with it. They even have like a villain here. The movies, the villains are just surface level, like just bad guys, whatever. And he like shoots a
Sure.
bad, whatever the action movie shit. It is very very emotional. That movie has a very dark gothic feel that's like I feel like everyone should go watch The Crow like right now. Go fuck this show, fuck this podcast, go watch The Crow. But thank you.
Actually,
James,
yeah,
like,
kind of. If you shorten your hair a lot.
yeah. No, but that's like it's a compliment because The Crow, like every person who's played The Crow, they're all good-looking guys. So thank you. But then at the same time, like the one thing about being a fat dude with long hair is that I will be Fat Crow. That's like a big joke and like cosplay shit, whatever. Is like there's Crow and then there's Fat Crow. So it's like I will never ever go as the Crow until
Well, maybe some people prefer Fat Crows. Have you ever like thought of like seeing like a big like Fat Crow, whatever, and you're just like, man, I want
that would be badass.
I want to give that like
He
some
just comes
fucking
out,
that crow like some fucking seeds or whatever. Like
No, just say you got a bunch of. Just say you got a ton of crows underneath, man, and don't piss you off.
but these stories are so good, man. Like I love the comic books and everything. Or you know, I didn't read a bunch of them. I had like 2 or 3 issues, so it's not like I'm like a huge fan. But yeah, like what was actually like written here actually did not happen in the movie. There was a character who was like an undead, like bald, super tall, like monster dude, and he had like superpowers and stuff.
Slender Man?
Like, pretty much, yeah. Actually, like he looks a lot like Slender Man.
That shit.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. But like, yeah, dude, I fucking I don't know. I never get a chance to talk about the Crow really. So like. Crow. It's fucking great. You guys go I don't know if that's on Comixology or whatever. I haven't really went through like the catalog of Comixology. Like I think they just have like the Marvel shit and then like a few like indie stuff, but like yeah, if this is on there, dude, like do that shit, get that shit cuz Comixology I've downloaded a couple of like comic books from there when I had like a free account or whatever. Especially like a comic book day they do that. And it's really really cool like how the PDF is. It's not like a big bullshit thing where you know you have to have this program and have this program. It's like no, it's really simple, very easy to read, and you can save it on a hard drive. So.
It's weird because something wait, you can't. Nick Diaz is connected with your audio connect. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you, but I think my my other account in here is not connected.
Okay, yeah, because the Zoom was giving you a message. I don't know. I've read I've read some comics through the digital means. It doesn't hit the same. Like I prefer reading. It's like some people prefer reading books like on an actual book. Like yeah, I know it's a waste of paper and ink and all that shit and more expensive, but like it doesn't. It for me hits differently when I'm reading a comic versus just like scrolling on a website or whatever.
Yeah. So we got to talk about something really quick. Because we could do some recaps and they're not reviews. So if we don't get really detailed, whatever, I mean they're just recaps. So just don't put that out there, but. I got some topics in case, like, I want to get a ball rolling, and who knows, the core's going to take a long time getting ready, blah, blah, blah. And because of this, man, this is for Jet in the sense of, like, I want to show her something to put a smile on her face, but I also want to fuck with you.
Yeah, well, that's a chat attack, so yeah.
So, Sonic Frontiers gets its first gameplay trailer.
Oh, I saw this shit!
I'll be real. Man?
That looked kind of dope. I can't believe I'm the one saying this shit, but I'm like to me it's like they're doing the exact same marketing strategy that fucking Kirby did when they did their fucking thing. They're like, fuck, those motherfuckers released a 3D Kirby game before we fucking did. But like I'm looking at this going, you know what? This doesn't look terrible. Like this looks like it could be good because the visual fidelity, they're clearly putting some effort into this. I'd be surprised if it shows up on the Switch just because of how crazy it is. But like they seem to be having some fun with it, but like it's Sonic Team, so you have to always assume it's a gigantic pile of shit because it's a Sonic game, so it's always going to have some shit, but it looks like they decided to put some effort into the Sonic game for the first time in 25 years.
Yeah, dude. So, Jet, what do you think about this? I'm sure you've seen this. You've had to, like, see this going through the internet, scrolling around and stuff, right?
Like I said before, like, I love Sonic. I'm excited for it. The only thing that would put this, like, above, like, the other Sonic games that came up is they put back Chow Garden. Stop keeping that for Sonic Adventure. Just put it back in. That's what people are waiting for.
Yes.
Chow Garden.
Chow Garden? What the fuck is that?
Is that a level?
So in Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure Battle 2, the most popular feature of those games were your ability to raise these creatures called Chow. And like you got to put them in races and all this other stuff, and then you got to like change their abilities and just level them up and shit. It's what kept you going back to the game after you finished the main story. It was fun as shit. But ever since Sonic Battle 2, they have not added this feature back, and it was one of the reasons why people love that game so much. Well, both those games.
Yeah, because I never heard of this at all. Because I played those games too. Like, how the fuck did I not remember this? But yeah, I don't know. They might do that, but I think what they're really gonna focus on right now is just trying to like, I feel like they're trying to copy like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey a little bit, like
100%. They're trying to do the whole gigantic, big open world because, like, again, Nintendo was one of the first people to ever really do that. When you look back at the 64, the reason we have 3D gaming now is because Mario 64 and Zelda Ocarina of Time were not just, they're kind of good. They were the biggest games ever, ever. Even now, if you do a top 10 video game list of all time, most people are going to have one of those two games on the fucking list because it revolutionized an entire industry. Sonic tried to do that like I know they had their Adventures game, and that was popular for there. But when they tried to do an open world game on 360, Sonic 06, one of the worst games ever made, they fell the fuck apart because they did not know what to fucking do in a real open world. And they basically, except for I think Sonic New World or Old World or whatever the fuck, they never really tried to do open world. They just did wide open levels. But this time they're like, hey, you know what? Kirby, like, this is the same development as the Kirby game, and the Kirby game seems to do pretty good because it's just Mario 64, just with the Kirby lore. But they're like, hey, we got to change things up, so fuck it, let's try the open world again, and maybe this time they actually know what they're doing. But again, not Kirby, Sonic games mostly are trash. Most of this franchise is garbage, so it's like, I don't know. I'll see.
Hey, I mean, for Frontier sold good as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know why no one liked it.
But so apparently it's because of new younger fans. With Sonic Frontiers, it got a lot of younger fans addicted to Sonic.
Oh, those unfortunate souls.
Well, I mean, because I'm with you, by the way. I totally agree with you, but it's like I'm looking at, like there's so much value being put on the property of Sonic because of those movies and everything too. I like now it's not like how it was back in the day. Because like, dude, you gotta be honest. Like when Nintendo bought Sega and all that shit, they're not gonna like give a bunch of fucking love to Sonic. They don't give a fuck. But nowadays,
it's Nintendo actually. They even if it's a franchise no one's ever heard of, they will like Nintendo has a brand to maintain. They're not like Activision or Sony or whatever, where they'll just kind of shit anything out. Nintendo puts a lot of fucking effort behind their brands, except for
they
Pokemon
shit out
Pokemon
reason. Shit though. Like
that's the thing, except for Pokemon, but that's a weird fucking.
Speaking of Pokemon,
I had this ready too. Actually,
what's up?
Tomorrow, we're getting a trailer.
Yep, we're getting a trailer for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, right here, 6:00 in the morning. So that's in California time. So it could be cool. ACST. If you guys are gonna be on, maybe we'll talk about, or I don't know, like I would say I'd stream it, but fuck that. But yeah,
I will be working.
Look,
sir.
I don't think Pokemon's trash. I've never really gotten to Pokemon. It's never really been a thing for me. It's a mix of the combat. It's just a combat system, and it's like you play one Pokemon game and you basically played them all. So it's like I don't really see for me at least. I'm not gonna play any more of these.
Yeah, well, I will say the last two I fucking hate it. Like, I really, really do not like
Pokemon Arceus, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, I hate that game, and I hate the game, but like I only played it like an hour and 45 minutes. The only problem is with the Pokemon game because it's so simple. You should be able to enjoy some Pokemon gaming within 10 minutes. I didn't fucking do anything for like literally 70 minutes, and then I finally get to do some shit, and I'm like, yeah, this is the same shit. Like, this is not even.
Yeah, that's mostly why. To me, it's like start time to gameplay. Look, that's debatable. But as far as like the same shit, that's why I don't want to play. Because like Risa said in chat, I don't like turn-based RPGs. I'm trying to change that, but I really hate this idea that I can't attack when I want to attack, where I have to wait for your turn. Like that's not if me and Nick fight inevitably one day, I'm not gonna say okay, Nick punch me and then it's my turn. It's like that's not how fucking anything works.
Well, the first punch will work like that. I was like, come on, hit me. No, you hit me. No,
I mean,
you hit me.
that's fair. That is fair. It's always the first one.
But yeah, and Paper Mario games, yeah, they're fucking garbage. Thank you, Mauricio. I fucking hate those.
Okay. That's the only reason. That's the only reason I want to fucking get into turn plays because the Paper Mario games look like fun.
Yeah,
they are like fun, and I will not hear any differently. The Paper Mario, the first one, and Thousand Year Door are the fucking shit.
I hear nothing but good things.
You're a 1,000-year dork. That's what you are. Like, Paper Mario.
Wow.
Get out.
I know you're not calling no one a dork with your wrestling ass.
I'm sure if
why don't you tell everyone fucking Stone Cold's fucking birthday where you're at?
I mean, speaking of wrestling RPGs, apparently I read about this that Jennifer McMahon or whatever the fuck her name is that runs like the whatever.
Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, Stephanie McMahon. Apparently, she wants to make not like a turn-based RPG, but apparently wants to make a wrestling RPG. Which, fuck it, why not?
I would love to see that.
They already kind of got those from the fucking games or whatever when you go through and trash.
Yeah, but I guess she wants a more traditional RPG in that sense, where it's like you're actually like instead of it just being a wrestling game with RPG elements, we're like, no, you straight up building a character, and then the character creator that Nick's not going to use at all because Nick hates character creators. He's gonna make a bald white guy. Like 12% of the fucking roster already has that.
By the way, and I'm just a victim here. I just want to enjoy games like with all of you guys and just.
Oh bullshit! You don't want to enjoy shit.
But I never said I dislike character creators. I just think that spending hours making a character is a little ridiculous. But like me, I like all things. I'm nice.
But if you want to know if Nick's like talking out of his ass and trying not to break, he uses his hands a lot, like this.
Oh really?
Because he's trying to hold himself together. For me, my hands are all over the place. He's trying to keep it together, trying not to laugh.
Yeah, I feel like a fucking like dinosaur though, because I'm doing my hands, but like my like just fucking look like an idiot. Yeah, Yabo Slaughter's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Sorry about that, buddy. But yeah, dude. Fair. But I know it is fair as fuck. But no, like on the whole thing. So like I do want to touch on this, like as far as Pokemon goes, is like, because me and you, because I mean, and I'm not saying like, oh, you interrupted me, because I get you're heated about this and everything, but like, I don't mind if it's the same thing. I don't mind that. But what they did is they lied. I hate, and this is every video game developer on the fucking planet right now. That's why I fucking hate gaming in general. But like, people lie about shit to hype something up, and then no one calls them out on their lying when the shit's not true. Like Pokemon Arceus, their whole thing was like, you're gonna be able to play completely different. You can move around, you can do shit, whatever. They literally meant you can move your character so he's not in the way of the camera. You don't do anything. Your character doesn't do shit during your fight. You don't get to fight.
No,
the fucking
you
Pokemon.
do. Like the Pokemon like straight up attack you, especially later. Like you gotta keep moving the entire time.
They just move you around, but like you're not. It's not Monster Hunter. Like they kind of sold it like it's gonna be like some Monster Hunter shit where like.
Well, it's more like. Here's the thing when it comes to it's just like no one's ever like not everyone's going to be happy with the directions they take these games. Like if you change too much, people complain that you changed too much from the formula that works, and if you don't change enough, then you're just like it's the same thing. You're never gonna really get everyone that's like 100% like well I'm completely happy. You're never gonna get that, and I do really like their attempt at actually doing something different. Well, did a lot of people like have problems with it? Yeah. Did a lot of people also like it? Yeah. It's just like at this point, just like if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
And but like another thing too,
that's my philosophy on it. Like I'm never gonna like a Pokemon game, so I'm just never gonna interact with them.
Yeah. Sword and Shield. I'll say this really quick. I think the game is very, very well made. Very beautiful looking game, whatever. But I feel like I got nothing that I didn't get out of Sun and Moon. So that almost goes to what Alan's point is. But I don't subscribe to Alan's theory. Like I don't really like. I don't dislike the same shit, because if it's the same shit but like just a little bit better, I'm cool with it. Sword and Shield was the same shit, but
no, I'm fine. I'm fine with the thing is when I said once you play one Pokemon game, you played them all. I don't have a problem with that. I'm an Assassin's Creed fan. My issue is I don't like Pokemon, so I'm never going to play another Pokemon game. But just like Jess said, if it's a franchise that essentially refuses to change most of the time. So if you like a Pokemon game, you're gonna like the next Pokemon. I know friends of mine that love Pokemon game and had issues with whatever the fuck the new one's called. I'm never gonna get the name right. But eventually, after a while, they got used to it. They like the different changes because, it's a problem with yearly franchises, and there's not a single yearly franchise out there that is really it's really always popular. Most of the time, the whole yearly installment franchise is actually extremely detrimental to the game. Except for, FIFA, Call of Duty, and Pokemon are the only ones left that are consistently doing it yearly. Even the wrestling games, I think they took a year off after the disaster.
It was one of the worst fucking games that came
out
in 2020.
The date on the consoles fucked it up. I didn't believe that when I first heard it.
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke.
It was literally like the Y2K thing, but
that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, no, that's a joke. Where's the Onion or hard drive fucking website? That's not fucking real. That doesn't happen. How does that happen?
Yeah. But really quick. So on that note, and I'm glad you said it, but it's gonna be my big segue of it, where it's like, Pokemon, I don't like that. If they're gonna do the same thing, I need to be better. Now, there is one franchise that's kind of done that and then stopped doing that, and that is a Call of Duty franchise. So now, Modern Warfare 2 is going to be coming out. I cannot wait for this. I am hyped as fuck because the last Modern Warfare game was fucking amazing, and it's literally cool. It's what's booted up every time we play Warzone. Like that's not even a Black Ops.
But the last two Call of Duty games have sucked.
They're not made by these guys. Really?
I know, but the thing is,
you're treating it as one franchise. You're saying Call of Duty comes out another one every year. For me, for guys who actually play all of these, it's never been that. Ever since the fifth one, it's never been Call of Duty comes out every single year. It's the logo comes out, and then Treyarch makes their game, or Infinity Ward makes theirs, or Respawn makes theirs, or Sledgehammer makes theirs. But it's so thank you, Mauricio. Vanguard is fucking garbage.
Well, that's the thing. But the thing is, I picked up Cold War because how much I like Modern Warfare. I didn't pick up Modern Warfare at first because I don't fucking like Call of Duty. I played Warzone and I enjoyed that. I wanted to play that, so I got it. So I'm like, okay, cool. The thing is with Call of Duty games, shit bleeds into each other because again, they're working on the same engine. The teams are in the same fucking building most of the goddamn fucking time. It's like with the Assassin's Creed shit. Just because the games come out from completely different developers, you start to see, oh, we use the same engine, we use the same animation, we use the same gunplay. So it's like as far as actually whether or not I'm gonna enjoy it, like I'm gonna do what I did last time. I'm gonna fucking wait. Because I was about to get Vanguard. Because I liked the fucking promo they ended up playing. But then I heard everything about it. I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah,
fuck that.
I haven't played a lot of multiplayer, so I will say that. But like the campaign, as Mauricio said, Mauricio said he didn't even like bother with it. But I was like, oh fuck, like this is not. I played it on stream. I tried to have fun with it. It's whatever. But like, you know, like Far Cry is another one where like Far Cry 3 was like the best, and it was doing the same shit that Far Cry 2 did. Not the same as Far Cry 1.
Not really.
Well, you know. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute if you want to. But, you know, with Far Cry 4, it was definitely the same shit and nowhere near as good as Far Cry 3. And then 5 was kind of the same shit, but like a little bit better in some ways.
No, that's the problem. Far Cry 3 goes fucking so far back, it's more comparable to Far Cry 1 than Far Cry 3. Because of just they just took out everything from that fucking game. That game is a fucking embarrassment.
Wait, you mean 5. Like in storyline, or you mean like just in gameplay?
Both.
Really?
Everything they fucking took out. This is the first time in the entire franchise they didn't have a voice main character. So, which has been in every fucking game, even the first one. Actually, no, the second one didn't have a voice, but like they literally started with 3 and then 3, 4 Primal, even though that was a new fucking language. Like Far Cry 5 was they just shat that out because they didn't know what the fuck they're doing with this franchise anymore.
Yeah. But like that's the thing is like because I'm hyped about this. Like, you know, they even showed the release date on this. Which, by the way, this is the last Call of Duty for 2 years. Because next year they're not gonna have one, and then
are they final? Wait, really? They ended it too?
Yeah.
Shit, that's a fucking holy crap! Mark a fucking calendar. That's the last like. Besides, well, actually, that's it. Besides Pokemon and FIFA, that's it. And even FIFA, fucking EA is like,
Madden,
get the fuck out of here.
Madden's coming out with shit.
Is Madden still doing it? Okay, yeah.
And they're fucking great. By the way, Madden games are fucking incredible. Like they keep finding some way to make them good every single year.
Oh man, Blackie Chan just brought up something. Is anyone still playing Battlefield?
No, hell no.
Talking about embarrassment to a franchise, oh my fucking god, I love Battlefield games. They're my favorite fucking multiplayer first-person shooter. I won't play anything else from any fucking other franchise. And I was so excited because Battlefield 5 sucked. Battlefield V was a piece of shit, but whatever. Battlefield 2042, they hyped it up. It looked cool as hell. They were adding some shit. They're going modern.
I was actually gonna buy that, by the way.
I did, and I was so excited. I bought the fucking extra gold edition to play it a week early. And I would, oh my fucking god. First of all, I couldn't even get into it because the servers were so goddamn shit. But like, whatever, it's early. Everyone's trying to fucking get on there. They didn't turn off most of the servers. That's fine. There's like 10 weapons in the whole fucking game. I'm like, okay, it's fine. It's like a demo, whatever. Game releases, still, they added absolutely fucking nothing. The levels are complete shit. The actual gunplay is fine if you can find somebody, but they decided to add like fucking 64 people and then just make a level that's designed for 300 fucking people, but good luck finding anybody. The guns themselves are all right except for 1 or 2. They have 2 pistols in the whole fucking game. The whole fucking game. They got rid of.
Who wants to use a pistol though? Pistols fucking suck, bro. Come on.
It's your secondary weapon. That's for me. That was one of my favorite fucking weapons because when you run out of ammo or the person's close or you don't want to reload, you switch to your fucking secondary and you have a good pistol. You don't. The pistols kind of suck. The guns aren't that fucking good. They ruined every class this time. Oh my fucking god.
Oh, Guitar's guy said so. This guy like anything? That's so great that Alan has not been here for a while and like he's on here for one show and the one guy comes in and is like. Look, I don't know. I don't watch the chat tag. I don't watch this pre-show shit. But does that motherfucker like anything? And it's like, dude,
I mean, we talked about Batman at the start of this goddamn show. Where the fuck were you?
Jesus Christ. No, but like I'm in the same way because I've said I don't like as much shit as him. I guess so. I'm not gonna throw it all on Alan there. But I will
you guys need to get on my level.
Yeah, you don't like shit. Stuff. Half the shit we brought up, like you did not like this. You don't like.
Yeah, but I usually bring up stuff that I like. I mean, hell, like I said, I like Sonic.
That's true.
And I said that shit sucks.
I also said I like Pokemon. I also, for the past couple of days, have been bringing up like the games I've been playing. Like I like a ton of stuff.
I mean, I did just beat the best game. At least personally, the best game of the year for me.
Oh yeah, Horizon Forbidden West.
Yes,
yeah,
within arm's reach. This is I don't care what comes out this year. this is the best game of the fucking year. Horizon Forbidden West.
Well, nothing else has come out that's been good. I mean, what you got?
Well,
Dying Light,
no,
State,
a lot of things have actually come out. This has been a pretty good year for games. Though there's a lot more coming out. I can't wait for Saints Row reboot. Like I'm fucking excited for that.
Pamela Anderson Cooper. Yeah, I don't know why they're not reviewing Men either. Like, because that was kind of it wasn't a massive release.
Because they saw that trailer and go, this looks like some bullshit.
I still don't know. I still don't know. Like,
I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I saw the trailer for Men. I'm like, this looks like some goddamn trash.
I didn't actually see the trailer, but I saw that poster and I'm just like, this dude got some big ass teeth, and I don't want to watch this.
He's just like, and then it's always like he's always like wet and shit. He's like just like this big fucking face or whatever.
The man's only made one movie that I like, so.
Oh, Guitars Guy's gonna love this. Hey, Alan, what do you think about Elden Ring?
Well, I mean, he is right. It's going to win Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Like when the VGAs does it in December, it's gonna win because people like the jack offs from software for some goddamn reason.
Oh,
hey,
maybe because they're a good company and it makes good games.
Oh, we're talking about
shit,
Pokemon.
Really?
Oh no, we're talking about Pokemon doing the same goddamn shit. So what the fuck is Souls game? But hurt me, daddy. That's why they fucking like the game.
Please clip that.
That's
Holy fuck.
Don't clip that.
God. Actually, don't clip that because that will ruin my fucking
masochists.
breakfast all week. Like that's disgusting.
They're fucking masochists that like those games.
You say that, but then God. Like I don't know. Like I'm not.
I like hard video games as well, but to a limit.
You play Kingdom Hearts, not getting any of the
Kingdom
fucking
Hearts
keyblades,
sucks.
dude.
Kingdom Hearts sucks.
You didn't play it right, you stupid son.
Oh, I don't give a shit. I beat the game. I beat both games. I said, fuck this, I'm done.
Oh my god. Why are you stubborn with the fucking game? It's like
Hey, I did that with Dead Space 2, mostly because for other reasons. I went through the entirety of Dead Space 2 with nothing but a pistol.
You know, being stupid on purpose is still stupid.
No. That was actually not my fault because the game is very difficult. So I was spending all my money on health and ammo. So I literally just couldn't get another gun.
Yeah. Oh, okay. See, Marissa got me.
Oh,
He
shit,
got
God
me.
of War. That game is fucking incredible. I beat it, like a month ago on PC. That game still holds up.
Oh, what, the 2019 one?
2018, yeah.
Yeah,
I fucking love it. It's such. By the way, if you guys did not play it on PS4, get the PC release. It's one of the best PC
Kirk,
games.
I fucking love
God
it, dude.
damn it,
God,
Kirk.
you're so
Yeah, the man hasn't been in the chat all goddamn day.
That's so awesome. But yeah, Guitars Guy said new God of War comes out this year. It might come close, but yeah, for
It's not. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. Let's see if I'm wrong. God of War Ragnarok is not coming out this year. It is not. It's gonna come out March 2023, and I will put money down on this.
You know what? I kind of see that being the case, but there's nothing. That whole area is just like empty with like releases. This is the perfect time for God of War Ragnarok to come out because
if I'm wrong, I will buy Nick the game.
Oh fuck yeah, let's do that. What happens if I'm wrong though?
I mean, you get to do what you always do. Just hold it against me forever.
Wait, I'll hold it against you that I'm wrong.
No, that I'm wrong.
Okay, well sweet, we'll do that.
Yeah,
that's a great fucking deal.
Clip that, because I'm sorry, but like this is. By the way, this isn't like pandemic delays everything, even though that's really kind of true. It's more of the situation of like I don't believe like for me E3 was always at least the months leading up to and after E3 was always like this is where games get announced and this is where release dates get solidified and usually the next year. It's been very few times except for when Bethesda does their thing that you announce a game, you give a release date, and it's usually the same year. It's usually the next year. And we've seen one trailer for God of War Ragnarok, and apparently everyone's like, we don't even have a solid release date, and it's supposed to come out this year. No, it's gonna be. They're gonna do their state of play in like a week, and they're gonna give a release date of like March 2023. It's gonna be next year because the last God of War released in March 2018.
Yeah, I will say though. I think Elden Ring is gonna win, and I will say, like, I mean, 100%. I don't know how your gameplay was when you played it, so it's whatever. But like, I watched my nephew play it, and then I played a little bit too, and it is like, I know it's the same shit, but it's like what I said earlier about the Call of Duty stuff, or whatever. Where like they will come up with a really good game, like, wow, you got the formula perfect. I'm happy with this. If I don't play anymore, I'm fucking happy. Elden Ring is literally that game. Like, I don't have it, so I can't really fully say I love the game or that's a perfect game, blah blah whatever. But that way it feels when you play, and how it doesn't feel so like it's fucking with me. Like, I felt ripped off with Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 because it was so fucking hard. I didn't even play Sekiro yet. I've been told that that's super fucking crazy.
That's the only one I legitimately enjoyed.
Yeah, so I mean, when my experience with Elden Ring so far is just like, dude, like this is like the best game that came out this year. Like, I can't.
Man, no, because the first thing you do, I stepped 2 feet and there was a gigantic boss that insta killed me.
Well, like, no, that's how all of them like they do
That's
that.
my point. That's my problem.
Yeah,
like,
but you're not supposed to kill it. Like, you're not supposed to kill it though. You're supposed to walk.
Cool. Then you put it right at the like it's like 2 feet away. It's like I'm right here, and literally like in my room, there's a fucking boss that'll insta kill me. It's like fair? No, this game is designed to fuck with you. They build their controls, they build their
that's
mechanics.
how Battlefield 4 is and Battlefield 3 is, where you start off the thing in the campaign and your character is supposed to die. You're trying to tell you a story about the war. Like these games that come out nowadays, and I don't like this either. By the way, like just to let you know, I'm not like arguing with you that that's annoying, but that's what games do. Like Battlefield does this. I could have sworn twice in a row.
No, I mean after. I'm talking like literally as soon as the game is like, hey, we're open world, go do your thing. They're the wandering bosses in the fucking environment that are basically it's designed for you to grind and grind and grind. I fucking hate that shit because to me that like fighting the same boss 10 fucking times or trying to find out some mechanic to beat them by just figuring out some bullshit written on some corner of some dude's ass crack. Like the games are obtuse on purpose because they want you to constantly go online and talk to your friends. They want you to constantly dive into fucking wikis. They want you to constantly do extra bullshit instead of, I don't know, just play the fucking game, or you just do the same shit over and over again until you just somehow figure it out, or you just go fight a bunch of bats in the corner until you're fucking Superman, and then you can just go through everything. It's like, fuck this, man. At least Monster Hunter has some sort of progression and flow, so that way even if you're doing the same thing over and over again, it's more meaningful.
I'll be right back while Corey calls me, but continue yelling about video games.
I'll keep talking about that shit. The combat system in those games is complete fucking garbage. All it is just fucking mash a fucking button and dodge out of the fucking way. It's like, fuck it, we don't know how to make a Devil May Cry game, so we're not even gonna fucking bother. At least Sekiro had a fucking actual combat system with dodges and parries and actual timing that made the game a lot more fucking fun. At least with Bloodborne, they had the weapon changes, so it changed up a little bit. This is just Dark Souls 4. Like, I don't understand why people like these games so goddamn much. Like, they come out, they're just the same thing. Hell, half of this is just recycling bosses from the last fucking game because they're like, fuck it, we're gonna do an open world game and we're just gonna string everything together. It's completely ridiculous. Like I understand people liking stuff that I don't like. That's fine. But the way people talk about this shit's like it's the best game ever. In the same fucking month, Forbidden West comes out, that better gameplay, better story, better RPG, everything about it is way fucking better. But because it's from software, everyone just ignores all the garbage that's there. Yeah, Corey will never learn how to fucking text. This man's we've been doing the pre-show for like 2 fucking years right now, and he still
really
calls
has
us every
been that
fucking
long,
time.
and he never I do not know why he can't just text back.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm done with my rant on Elden Ring. It's gonna win Game of the fucking Year. I will be surprised if anything, dude. They can release Half-Life 3 tomorrow, and it won't beat Elden Ring.
That's true. By the way, when is that gonna fucking happen?
Never. I've given up. I gave up 10 years ago.
God damn, dude. Yeah, because that people have been asking for that. Like, I think ever since like a year after the Orange Box came out.
They talk about ever since Half-Life 2 ended. I think that was 2000. When the fuck did that game come out? 2004?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, maybe 2006. Maybe 2006.
Oh, it was fucking right. 2004.
Holy shit. Okay, well then, goddamn.
It's been almost 20 fucking years, and we're never, guys. Stop. It's over. I gave up 10 years ago. It's over.
Mary says next time Corey calls, make it a bit like he does with Carlos. Nah, fuck that.
Nah, he'll get fired.
Well, no, because I've done it before, and then he just does like right now. It's like fucking around. I was like, hey, baby. He's like, hey, man, you got that video? I'm like, okay, now I just look like a fucking weirdo, like calling you baby and shit. Like I'm on speaker, so I know Billy's like, hey, he's your baby? Like, what the fuck? Like, I want to be his baby if I'm fucking joking. So, anyways, no matter what, whatever I do, I'm gonna look stupid at the end of it. But
you might as well just get it over quick. They're never gonna fucking learn, so you might as well just fucking make it quick. Okay, I got it. Cool, hang up. Let's go.
Pretty much. But here's the thing, though, guys. It's time to talk about this. This is recap.
Chippin'
I like that end credit song. That was a shit. That was awesome. But yeah, me and Jet watched it earlier today. By the way, did you watch this, Alan?
Oh yeah, I got a chance. I was actually finishing it before the show.
Nice. But I don't know too much about Chippendale, the universe, or the show, the characters, or whatever. But basically, Chippendale have been without shit to do, living mediocre lives for like fucking 30 years. And since they've been so, it's been 30 years since they had the show. Because it's like a meta thing, too. Like, they had a show in the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of the Roger Rabbit thing where instead of just being a situation like the Chipmunks or what was it? Oh my god, the Smurfs, where it's like, oh, they're in the real world now. It's like, no, this situation where they're actors and the show was a show and they're actors like that. And this is a world where it's like cartoon and people just exist. Unlike the bad guys, it actually explains itself. That movie fucking sucks. I'm just gonna make sure to keep shitting on that fucking movie.
I know you hate that fucking thing.
It's bad. It's just bad. And it's a kids movie, so people just forget how shitty the plot is. But this, on the other hand, is actually really interesting and really dark. it's kind of wild some of the shit they get away with, but basically, yeah, it's the Roger Rabbit thing where it's like humans and cartoons live in the real world. Cartoons are just like people. Most of them are actors, so they're in movies and shit like that. So it's like you start seeing the Rescue Rangers, and they're actually like, they had the show in the 90s, and they're talking about like their relationship and all that shit. And apparently, every single duo of comedies where one's a fucking idiot is just me and Ganja, because this is just me and Ganja again going through our bullshit.
Yeah, dude. But I will say I want to admit to something really quick too, because this is like it's gonna devalue my opinion a little bit. But basically, I was super busy when watching this, and there were a ton of times I had to keep leaving. So Jet watched this in its entirety, while I was kind of like, like when watching it, like, what the fuck is that? Okay, and I take off and then come back. It's like, so there's a lot that just didn't make sense to me. But I will say, because I feel like my opinion still matters, and the only reason why it does essentially is because this movie finds its premise, finds its spot in whatever it's going to do, and never fucking leaves it. Ever. Like, this is just, like, these jokes that only if you're a fan of this shit you'll understand, and then never does anything else. It gets in the way of story. It's like, oh, we can have storytelling, we can have this, we can have characters, or we can just say jokes because, hey, you guys are watching this, and you guys like what we did before, so ha, we like the same shit.
I disagree. This is actually... because I watched part of it while it was in the EC, but then I passed the fuck out because I was just super fucking tired. But as far as like rewatching, because I rewatched it today, no, this is actually just a pretty interesting comeback. You've seen these comeback kind of stories before. It's like, oh, hey, we got to get the band back together to do some shit. But just the way they kind of go about it and the way they're doing the meta storytelling, where it's like they're talking about like the acting business through cartoons and stuff like that. It's pretty interesting what they're going through as far as the adventures they're going in. This just feels like an adventure from the Rescue Ranger show. Just a little bit more, I don't want to say cynical, but a little bit more, in a weird way, adult, even though this is clearly a kid's show, because they're talking about like growing up and how shit doesn't always work out and people get changes. Like he's literally like, oh, I went through CG or whatever the fuck. Like that's literally the equivalent of fucking getting like a boob job or getting fucking Botox in this fucking universe.
It's definitely making a reference to like plastic surgery, which I think is funny, but like, it keeps happening, and it's like, okay, like, the joke's over.
But it's interesting the way they're kind of doing that, especially when they're talking to people where their friend's clearly an alcoholic, where they're talking about like drug use in a weird kid sense. And every now and then they'll throw in a really interesting reference to some other stuff. Like, I'm going to be real. I need Batman versus E.T. in my life. I saw that poster, and I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then they show a clip of that, and I died laughing.
But Jay, I want to get your opinion on this because, yeah, I mean, like you probably have a lot more to say about this than I do. It's more the fact too that you paid way more attention than I did. What are your thoughts on it? Like, do you see what I mean about like it can be confusing because there's kind of nothing happening, or what do you think?
I didn't exactly find it confusing, but what's the real word I want to look for? I can't think of it, but I'll just go ahead and say it. I really don't know what to think of this.
I really don't either, because like I have so many bad things to say, but I'm going to spoil my rating. This is like a 3 out of 5, or I guess like a 2.5 or 3, whatever. But the reason why I think that is because this is perfect for its fans. And if I was a fan of this shit, I would fucking love this. It'd be like a 4 out of 5.
See,
I would love
that's where I'm kind of like, is it? Because at the same time, just like, here's my whole thing with it. Hell, right there on the poster, it's not a reboot, it's a comeback. This does not feel like a Chip and Dale's movie. This feels more like references the movie starring Chip and Dale.
Well, it's basically people are comparing it to Space Jam Legacy. It's very similar in that sense, except instead of we're stopping the movie to just have a montage of references, it's basically doing this a simple storyline of, hey, we got to go find our missing friend, and they're adding in a lot of the other stuff where they can get the references in and sprinkle it in as needed for most of the jokes here. Almost all the jokes here are
you say sprinkle it in. I say basically just tip the whole salt shake.
Yeah,
I meant in the sense of I meant that doing something like that. I meant in the sense of every joke in here is some sort of meta joke to something else, either the acting biz industry or, like I said, the Batman versus ET shit. So it ends up just being like it comes in on like
Space Jam 2, and
it's Space Jam 2, but unlike Space Jam 2, this I felt like actually like it worked better within the story. It worked better within the characters because the characters themselves are fun and endearing. I watched Rescue Rangers when I was a kid. I won't say, oh, I'm the biggest fan, but I genuinely did enjoy it. But I just enjoyed what they were doing with their world because because at the end of the day, they create an interesting world where they're able to have like there's cartoons, there's regular people, they're actors, they're in LA, they're doing the whole Hollywood thing. This almost feels like Rush Hour 4 type shit where they're just.
I thought it felt more like straight up something mixed with Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, 100%. That's cool. I mean, they even have Roger Rabbit show up at some fucking point, I think. Or did I just
like right way at the beginning.
Yeah, And so it's like they're clearly going for that mentality. But it ended up just being one of those things where it's like it comes in quick. It doesn't necessarily leave that much of an impression, but you just sit there having just a fun time. It basically feels like a live action cartoon because it comes in. It does a very simple plot. They wrap everything up, and they have fun with their premise because they're like, look, we don't know if anyone's ever gonna like a fucking show. I'm pretty sure they even say that as much during the movie. We don't know if anyone's gonna even want to watch a traditional movie. So fuck it. We're just gonna have fun with this and use this as an excuse to just kind of just get a bunch of humor because they do a lot of shit. They have Batman references. They have Terminator references. They have Scarface references in this. It's kind of wild how far they're willing to go.
It's only an hour and a half long. It's like that's a lot of fucking references. Like,
and they managed to pull it off. Like, it doesn't feel too long. In fact, I wish it's me. I always wish like movies were longer and shit. But it does what it needs to do in a short amount of time, and the characters are endearing. It's not. It doesn't break the mold. It doesn't do anything necessarily you've never seen before. But it's a situation where it's a fun package.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, because I don't want to talk shit about it because it went over my head. Like, this is one time where I can literally admit, like, I'm not with it. Like, it just pew, you know. So like, me giving it a low rate, because I'm gonna give it 2.5 out of 5 because like, yeah, it's average in my opinion. But like, I did like the Lamb of God song playing in the movie. I like Sonic's original look being in the movie.
Oh, bro, they had the balls to bring in Ugly, and they just called Ugly Sonic.
Yeah,
Jack,
that's
how
fucking
did you
hilarious.
feel about that?
Yeah, exactly.
That was freaking out the most. What'd you think of that?
Oh, I thought it was funny. Like, there's actually legal reasons why they had to call him Ugly Sonic because they don't want to get fucking sued. But it's just like, that was actually pretty funny. That's one of the ones I laughed at.
The smelly cheesing being like crack in this like universe of the drug thing, and that's fucking hilarious. I was laughing.
That's why I love that shit. I know, because again, the scene where he brings up is like, you want some shit? Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, this is a kids movie. How the fuck did they like? There's some R-rated shit happening in this. Like, these guys are clearly going into a drug den to go on heroin, but because it's cheese, we can just get away with it.
Yeah, Joey Jetta says this is alright. I like the cartoon as a kid, and this has some good jokes and cameos, while also being dark in parts, especially after learning what happened to the character that played Peter Pan. Yeah, that was really smart of the movie. So, I mean, obviously they meant to go there, but probably not. They didn't want to offend anybody, but people got offended because it's 2022. But that Bobby Driscoll thing with Peter Pan, I was like, wow, like I'm kind of happy that y'all did that. Now, granted, it could have easily been like an accident. Okay, so I don't know if you know about Bobby Driscoll, but the guy, the original voice of Peter Pan, he was in that racist ass fucking Disney movie. What's that shit called? You know, like
which one?
Zoobity doo, zippity day. You know,
I have no
fucking
idea.
whatever.
Singing in the Rain.
No, but they even have like a slide dedicated. Like they, you know, it's like
not Sound of Music.
yeah, no,
Sound of Music?
Song of the South, Song of the South.
Song of the South. There we go. Yeah.
There we go. Thank you. But no, like they, you know, the little kid was started in that, and then he was in Peter Pan. But I guess later on he got addicted to heroin.
Oh, fuck.
So he fucking like went through all this shit, whatever, as an adult, and they kicked him out and won't put him in movies, blah blah blah. And he kind of looks like the dude in this movie, and they kind of make him look like he's like, you know, out of shape, his hair's growing, all this shit. So it's kind of like they're making a reference to Bobby Driscoll, and I guess people at the internet was like, "Oh, it's disrespectful. You shouldn't be making fun of him." Blah blah blah. I don't know, like how much of like them actually doing that was on purpose or blah blah blah, but it is funny because. I mean, that's a fucking tragic story, dude. That's kind of crazy what really happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're going out of the way to saying, oh, fuck this dude because of that movie. But I think it's a situation where it's like, yeah, he's an out-of-work actor. So they're like, we're going to make him look like an out-of-work actor. So you end up having that situation. But like, yeah, I like Peter Pan being the villain because in all honesty, he's the fucking villain. He steals kids from the bedrooms and kills them. Like, that's the story of Peter Pan, y'all. Disney just made up some bullshit. They're not going to Neverland. They're going to hell.
Well, Disney's known to do that. Hell, remember the original story of what is it? Not only Pocahontas,
Which one?
But Pocahontas and shit. What the fuck? The one with Ariel. I can't believe.
Oh, the Little Mermaid. Oh, by the way,
Yeah,
Little Mermaid, she dies.
Yeah, she turns into foam.
Yeah.
Pocahontas raped.
What else happened?
Pretty sure the Humpback of Notre Dame. That one's actually pretty cruel too.
The kids in Hansel and Gretel get murdered.
Gee, well, I will say this is just really fucking nerdy.
Yeah. Well, no, the problem is so okay. Long story short, a lot of the fairy tales that Disney did for My Little Mermaid, whatever the fuck, they've been around for like hundreds of years. They're all folklore from all around the world. But because there was just no copyright law, they became public domain. So Disney just took them and remastered them.
Like Winnie the Pooh.
What's that?
Like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh, like the new one that's coming out right now. Technically, they're allowed to do that. Do they call him Winnie the Pooh or do they call him Pooh? Whatever the fuck. They're allowed to do. Yeah, they're allowed to do that because technically they get his public domain. They just can't use the Disney version. But basically, they changed it up. They changed a lot of the lore so that they could essentially copyright that. So technically, the My Little Mermaid story, anyone can write it. However, Ariel, and specifically a lot of stuff with her lore, like with Flounder, even in this movie, that is specifically Disney.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. But yeah, dude. I mean, looking at this though, Newsy Ducky, what is up? I'm about to wrap this up as far as Chippendale goes, and then we're gonna get into Kenobi. Yeah, did I say that right, Kenobi?
Yep.
Okay, because I feel like I
No,
want
you
to
have to say
Kenobi.
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 Obi-Wan. But dude, yeah. So whatchamacallit? Wrapping it up. Yeah, this is 2.5 out of 5. I feel like this movie was gonna be very, very good for people who want to see this movie. And there's nothing wrong with if you guys like this, like to a point of like a 4 out of 5 or whatever. Like I totally understand why. But you know, you can't. For me, if I was making a movie or whatever, like I would never ever go and make something where it's just referenced just for my people. Like I would have to have something that can get someone to be like, oh, that's interesting. Let me try to come in here. Like this is why I understand people hate Halloween Kills, because Halloween Kills was just made for people who want to see Michael Myers do his shit, whatever the fuck, and like there's really nothing else there. If you are someone who's not a super fan for anything he does, you'll hate that fucking movie. That's why everyone thinks it's shitty. Same thing with Transformers, like part 2 and 3 and whatever the fuck. Like that's all like a bunch of lore and shit, like lore fest or whatever. And then yeah, people don't want to see some stupid shit, some dumb jokes, and then characters like, oh, he name dropped him. Oh, there he is in the background. Like no one's gonna give a fuck about Transformers 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like it's just kind of trash. So yeah, and same thing with Star Wars too. Who the fuck?
What's he calling you now?
No, it's not even Corey. It's the CDC.
What the fuck did you do?
I don't know. Yeah, talk shit about this too much.
Can you tell my name? I want the CDC to call me. I want a job.
Oh, I don't think they wanted to hire me.
I don't know why the fuck did you fucking cause a pandemic again? Like what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, CDC National Immune something.
The fuck did you do? You
I
better
don't
run,
know.
man. just go now.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little uncomfortable with that fucking call. I should answer that shit on the show. Like, what's up?
I never heard in my life someone get called by the CDC.
What could that mean?
I have no fucking clue, bro. It might be just a situation where just some informative bullshit of, hey, we want to just ask you questions about the fucking whatever in your area.
Okay,
probably just
good.
that kind of shit.
I'm scared. I'm a little scared.
I'm
a motherfucker who doesn't open my door. Like when people knock, I'm just like, shh.
Oh yeah, when I hear the doorbell, I'm like, who the fuck?
Yeah, I hate my fucking doorbell ringing, dude. Get the fuck away from my house. You know.
Oh yeah, you're in America. You said you can do that.
Blasian Michael, I fucking love you for that. But he says Nick reminds me of Tony from half the movies. I just finished watching him like right before the show. He just did this Predator thing. But I fucking love that guy. Like I've actually talked to him a couple times before too. But that's a very huge compliment. Thank you so much. You should watch him, Alan. He's actually really funny. And he has a lot of opinions that you think you'll agree with because he's kind of stupid too, you know.
So do you like this guy or not? I can't tell.
No, he's cool. Jet, what would you rate this movie? Because I have a shit on it, but I feel like I can give it higher than me. But what would you rate this?
Like I said, I really don't know what to think of this movie. And once again, I didn't even watch an episode of Chip and Dale. I just know because of other people who really like the movies. And I know the characters and stuff like that. But if we were to say like, oh, this is definitely for the fans, or like this is definitely a true like sequel or whatever, a true like retelling of Chip and Dale, I'd be like, I don't know about that. It seems like it's something different. Like I said before, it seems like references the movie with using Chip and Dale as an excuse to basically just like, oh, you remember this, remember this, remember this. Well, this movie is mainly for like just throwing references at you that you can just point out and go like, oh, I remember that. Oh, there's Jimmy Neutron's head. Oh, there's that. Oh my God, you're Roger Rabbit fucking dancing on the dance floor. And it's just kind of like, when you actually think about the story that this has, it is simple, but at the same time, just kind of like it's their story is like interesting at the beginning because it's like, oh yeah, cheese, that's fucking crack now. It crack this fucking like cartoon star, whatever, got addicted to cheese crack, and it's like, okay, they were going something here, and then it goes into like your stereotypical like, the cops won't do anything, so we had to do stuff sort of story, and it's simple and whatever, but at the same time, it's just like, yucky.
Yeah.
Not yucky as in like man, this is gross. Just like just generic. So not only does it have a generic plot, it also like is pulling itself together by simply keeping people interested and by having funny moments in there that have to do with references. Every joke in here is a reference to something. They make a reference to the fucking chipmunks or whatever, and the second they say what they say in the fucking goddamn beginning part, I'm just like, that's gonna happen. That's going to happen, and it's gonna make me mad as shit, and I'm going to hate it. It's fucking coming. I know it is. And then when it happens, it's like, this was way worse than I thought it was gonna be.
I thought that was funny, but yeah.
I love that shit because it was bad. Like, if it was good, I'd be like, oh, whatever. But it's like, it was so bad.
Really quick, just to fuck with you, because you came back today, so I'm gonna take advantage in case you run away from me. But you hated turning red when they did those dancing things, and yeah, you liked that scene with them chipmunks and the rapping scene and all that shit. I'm just saying, god damn it!
Completely different fucking thing.
No, it's fucking not.
Yes, it is, because this was objectively terrible, and it was 2 seconds.
So you like that? Do you like that Porky the Pig rap in Space Jam 2?
Oh fuck yeah! I love cringe rap. Cringe rap is the fucking funniest thing in the world.
That's where me and Alan are different. There's two things I hate a lot when it comes to both video games and fucking movies. That is fucking dancing scenes that are cringy as fuck. I hate that shit. When that happens in Mass Effect, I have to turn away from the fucking screen because that shit gives me a stomach ache. And fucking rapping scenes, I cannot take that shit. That shit's horrible.
Most of the time, though, my problem is when the production value is good. When it's good, I'm like, oh, this is fucking terrible. I can't believe they did this.
Wait, Jen,
when it's bad, oh god, no, the dancing is
Mass Effect is a good game, guys. Woo,
it's a great game. But Commander Shepard can't dance. Commander Shepard, she can save the universe, but cannot dance to save her life.
Oh,
that fucking video in Mass Effect where he's dancing with the fucking sorry, just like, that's so fucking painful. I had to turn away from the fucking screen.
Why is a robot dancing?
That's not a robot. That's just he's in his fucking military armor for some fucking reason.
Oh god, look at those funky.
But again,
moves.
I love it. To me, cringy white boy rap is comedy gold. Like every time I see it, I want to, especially when it's like the movie knows they're bad. I will laugh my goddamn ass off.
Alan, one more time.
That Porky Pig, one more goddamn time.
Yeah,
I will pray. That fucking Porky Pig thing, it got leaked, and I'm like, no, I want to see it in theaters. I was clapping when that shit happened, and my only problem is there wasn't more of it. I needed a rap battle. That wasn't a rap battle. That was just a verse. I needed an actual battle. That would have been great. Here, Notorious P.I.G. I fucking died when that happened. It was great.
What was that movie that Ganja made us watch that she hated?
Oh, Melvin's Most Wanted, because everyone in this movie doesn't call him out for the stupid bullshit that he's doing, and it's the whole movie. Like, the Porky Pig thing is like fucking 2 minutes, and in this movie it's like 30 seconds. I don't want to watch a whole movie about it, because just like any one joke, it's gonna get old if you hear for a fucking hour and a half. But
you know what? You're defending yourself pretty well. You are defending yourself pretty well.
Got that fucking right.
But you do drive me nuts, though.
I know this was gonna happen. I know you two well enough. I knew this was gonna happen. I had notes.
Yeah. Oh, you had to prepare like that, huh?
No, I prepared it in my head. I don't have to write it down.
Bitch.
You know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Bitch, I fight you all the time.
So what were you saying? I'm sorry.
So once again, the dancing shit, fucking horrible. It's just like they kind of do this thing where it's just like, oh man, I hate when people when these cartoons and stuff like that go and do this, and then afterwards it's like, okay, then we're gonna do this. It's just kind of like, okay, I know what you're doing. You're trying to make fun of it, but then also do the same thing anyway, to where it's just like, oh, we're aware of it, but it's just like, come on now,
Deadpool.
Fairly Odd Parents does this too. I was watching the video, someone was basically talking about Fairly Odd Parents and this how their later humor is, and just like they did do that fucking shit a lot, to where it's just like, whoa, that could never happen, and then all of a sudden, just 2 minutes later, it does. It's just like, come on, you're trying to basically make yourself above the fucking joke by calling it out and then doing it, but you're still doing the joke. And then during the ending of the movie, it's just kind of like, there was a cool scene in this. I will say, it was kind of choppy, but there is a fight scene in it where it's just like, okay, that's actually pretty interesting how they did that. I'm actually pretty entertained. I will give them points for how that ending kind of went, because it's just like there's a certain point where they're trying to figure out, okay, who actually is the real monster here, and it's just like, I said literally everything Chip said word for word. Damn, I said the same fucking shit. And then there's a twist, and it's like, oh, okay, I see what you guys are doing there. It still made me mad, but I see what you guys are going for. But at the same time, it does not keep me from just going This movie does some things right, but at the same time, once again, the major thing is this is not a Chip and Dale movie. Even the characters that were in the cartoon, for the most part, don't even show up. Well, the rest of them don't even show up till the end. So it's just like, once again, it does not seem like the actual cartoon, rather than just an excuse to just do references. Are the references funny? Yeah, I laughed quite a few times. There's a Swedish chef. Well, I think he was a Swedish chef or something like
He's
that.
supposed to be. I don't think that's legally. I don't think that's him.
Yeah, like he actually made me laugh quite a bit. I was just like, okay, that's actually fucking funny. you guys are definitely cops. Like, yeah, I think the same shit. But yeah, overall, I want to give this a 3, but at the same time, just like 2.5 seemed good. At the same time, I still had fun with it. With all the movies that like kind of just throw a whole bunch of properties in, like Ready Player One and like God. Space Jam, and I'm pretty sure there's another one. This one, I think, the jokes actually worked to where it's just like, okay, you obviously had someone who actually knows how to write jokes, and it works. It does work. Plot-wise, this movie is very weak. Funny, yeah, it works. So I'll give this a 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. All right. Alan, you take it away, sir. What would you rate this?
Sure. To me, it's like originally I just didn't really want to watch the movie just because I'd never been a fan of the whole, hey, we're animated creatures in a live action setting, because I think 95% of them are fucking terrible. I can't even remember. I feel like maybe I like 1 or 2, but I can't remember off the top of my head ones. I guess the Sonic movies are the only ones I really could, from recent memory, enjoy. But most of the time, they're almost objectively fucking terrible, like the Chipmunk movie and the Smurfs movie. The fact that they made 2 of those and got Katy Perry to be Smurf, I don't know what crack they were on.
Technically, they have 3, because they got the one where they're actually in their Smurf world, and that one was apparently absolutely awful.
They made 3 of them?
The third one is different from the other 2, but they do have 3 Smurf movies.
Fucking learn something new. Oh, and the Stuart Little movies fucking sucked. Holy shit. Most of these are goddamn fucking terrible. So I just didn't really want to watch it, but I remember Ganja watching like fucking 20 minutes of it. I remember just really enjoying just how funny it was. And it's again, like you both said, it's not a super complex plot, but it never really pretends to be. It's just it's a simple, hey, our friend's missing, we're gonna be cops because cops are fucking useless and ACAB all day long. But they end up just going through doing their normal shit. And yeah, every joke in here is a meta reference, but unlike, again, you brought Ready Player One and Space Jam, where like my issue with Ready Player One is that was the whole movie. It was just how many references can we jam pack into this fucking quiche that's about to explode with cheese all over the place? They'll get a couple more references. Let's stop the movie for 5 minutes straight of just references, and it just becomes a piece of shit by the end. But this is like, no, this is a very simple story, and it uses that simplicity to just have every joke be related to the fact that it's like, yeah, we're treating everything like we're actors. We're treating like animated creatures like they were actors instead of just being like in their own universe. And it works a lot better for that. It gives them excuse to do some interesting, fun stuff, hide a lot of stuff underneath child humor. And by the end of it, it's like I laughed at almost every single reference. The Batman versus E.T. thing is the funniest. I don't know how the fuck Disney got that. I don't know how the fuck Warner Brothers let them fucking do that. I don't even know if they told them. I think it'd be way funnier if they just hit it and hope no one finds out. But that's my favorite reference, because I fucking love Batman. And the idea that he fights E.T. and E.T. goes, I forgive you. I'm like, I don't fucking know what this movie is, but I need to see more context of that. But yeah, everything about this, I just had a fun time. I like the art style. This movie has like 7 different art styles. It just meshes into one scene at one time. Like, you're dealing with ugly Sonic, who looks the way he does, but you have people from just different art styles all around. And it's really fucking interesting how this ends up happening. And everything just kind of connects. Like, yeah, this movie, it's an hour and 40 minutes. It's incredibly tight. It doesn't really like meander. It just gets to the point. It does its thing and it fucking leaves. Like, it does everything it needs to do, and that's what I think a lot of people are enjoying, because there's a lot of really good shit with this art style. Do I want something a bit more complex? Of course. Want something longer? Of course I do. That's just how I like my movies and TV shows. But as far as this, I genuinely enjoy it. That's why I want to watch it, because I could have texted Nick, hey, I don't feel like watching it. But the 20 minutes I did see, I want to fucking watch the full movie, so I wouldn't end up doing it, because this movie's a lot of fucking fun. Nice. There's even references I'm sure I missed. So this, to me, is a 3.5. This is definitely almost a 4.
Yeah, which, that makes sense. And I'm glad that, like, you like it that much, and yet we're not, like, at odds. Because I totally see, like, where you're coming from. But this will be...
I will say, there is another part that actually did make me laugh. But it's near the end, I won't spoil whatever. It has to do with bootlegs, and, like, someone gets, transformed and something like that. And
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah. That was pretty funny too. He's like, oh, wreck it. That's just great.
I'm gonna smash.
But yeah, so yeah, people check that out if you guys can, and then let us know what you think about it. Like next time we do a show, or whatever, and we can talk about it. And I promise I won't be talking shit about you.
I doubt that. I don't see them doing a sequel with the same kind of premise. Unless they want to keep this up, I'd be surprised if they weren't trying to reboot the actual show, or if they're just going to do another Chippendale thing, but just do something completely different.
The next thing we're going to do, though.
Sorry, but I will say, like, where I say this is kind of like confusing to me. It's just like, I feel like this definitely is more of a movie for an older audience. Like, a lot of kids are not going to get like most of these references because they literally have a fucking Gumby reference. Most kids don't know who fucking Gumby is now.
Dude, they literally have a Terminator reference. Like, what? I saw that going, really? Okay.
Yeah, they're saying the movie was better than the book. I'm surprised you had your.
No, because apparently the Ready Player One is based on a book, and
oh, okay, they're talking about this. My bad.
No. He's doing that because I think Ready Player One's a colossal piece of goddamn shit that felt like it was written by a 4-year-old, and apparently, I guess I was right because the book is apparently terrible. The movie's way better. I'm sorry, the movie fucking sucks. So if the book is worse, holy goddamn shit.
But anyways, this is the third time I'm gonna say this shit. We're gonna go through this very, very quick because that was a recap, and yet that was long as fuck. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna try to get through this really, really quick. Unless
KENOBI.
Do you want to do this tomorrow?
It's up to you. I'm perfectly fine doing it today or tomorrow.
Because the thing is like I feel like because we might be at odds, I don't know, but this might go long too.
You ever notice how blonde people like sometimes barely have eyebrows?
That's true. It's because
I'm so used to people just having brown eyebrows with blonde hair because they don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah. God, just like tomorrow.
Motherfucker.
What you call it? But no, we'll do episode 1 then tomorrow. Yeah. You're a dumbass. Exactly, Ganja.
Yeah, he admitted it. So.
But no, okay. We're gonna do episode 1 here, and then tomorrow we'll do this one because I don't want to be here for another fucking 2 hours.
That's right.
But yeah, just want to say that what we're going to be talking about is obviously the first 2 episodes of Kenobi, so no spoilers. We're not going to spoil anything, so don't worry about that. And I am in no way or fashion at all a Star Wars fan by any stretch of the imagination. If anything, I kind of hate the franchise, and I've been pretty fucking flabbergasted at the fans of the franchise, both for what the fans consider quality, and then just for the shit that pisses them off. Like, I don't understand.
I'm leaving this to you too, Skiddly Doo.
It's funny because to get ready for this, I watched it, but I watched the episodes like I binged them in a row. But then I watched it again, and a friend who's the biggest Star Wars fan ever. We actually went and watched Revenge of the Sith right before this. And I'll be real, Revenge of the Sith holds up way more than I thought it ever did. Like, it's actually, like, it has its stupid parts, but it's a way better movie than I remember.
Yeah, but me personally, and I'll let you have your disposition in a bit about this spoiler, but it's just like for me, like I thought this shit was bad since A New Hope. I think that those original movies are fucking trash. I think it's bad all the way to Rise of Skywalker, except for Force Awakens. I do like that, but the one shining thing in any of this is that I think some of the games are pretty good, and then the Mandalorian show is fucking like the only reason why I have I would want a Disney Plus account. Thank you for your pansexual for the bits. I appreciate that, sir. But yeah, dude, like I only really like Mandalorian, and then Boba Fett. I think that's an okay show. It has some issues, but it is what it is. But going into this, I have no expectations because I ultimately believe that the Obi-Wan Kenobi character is very uninteresting. But now that I said all that, what are your thoughts, Alan, about the Star Wars franchise and just your disposition about Star Wars in general?
I've always thought the Star Wars franchise is, in the movies themselves, have never really been able to pull it off. Like what they want to do, because to me, I like sci-fi. I've always loved space travel, but I've always felt that the Star Wars shit, it's like it's all right, but it never goes as deep as I would like for it to go. It kind of just keeps everything very surface level. So when I watched I was watching The Weirdest Order, I played the video games. And then, because to me, Battlefront 2, like on the Xbox, one of my favorite games of all time, was the first game I ever beat multiple times. I fucking loved it. And it went through the entire trilogy up to that point. It went through all 6 fucking movies, and I loved the hell out of it. So when I went back and watched the movies, I literally started from the prequels and just went forward. I found myself going, it's all right at some points. I like things more than I don't. And as far as the original trilogy, it's all right. I like the ideas that spawned from it. But as far as the actual movies themselves, except for Empire, I'm not really a huge fan. When it comes to the prequels, I think Clone Wars is a fucking piece of goddamn shit. The second one, Attack of the Clones, sorry, I keep confusing that. The second prequel is a fucking piece of shit. The first one's all right, and I actually legitimately do like the Revenge of the Sith. Watching it again, like that movie is really fucking good. Hayden Christensen's acting is very weak, but there's still interesting stuff they do with that. And when it comes to the sequels, I fucking honestly hate them more and more with every passing day. The more I dive into the Star Wars stuff with the Mandalorian and even Boba Fett, this show, the video games, the prequels, I see how much flair that they have. Whereas look at the fucking sequels going, this just feels so like barren. It feels like they just have no idea what they want to do, and they're just trying to shove as much shit into the movies as possible, and not necessarily have any care to tell a story. Like Force Awakens is still great, but Last Jedi is a piece of shit, and Rise of Skywalker was one of the worst movies I've ever fucking seen. Holy shit, I fucking hate that movie. Mandalorian season 1, 2, fucking incredible. Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm watching Clone Wars literally as we speak. I'm catching up on Clone Wars. Obi-Wan Kenobi is one of the most interesting characters in this entire universe because he is the epitome of what Jedi are supposed to be. He's supposed, he understands the Force, he understands the Jedi Order, and he's doing his best to try to maintain that while also trying to grow and nurture Anakin and everyone around him. And what I really enjoy, especially with Revenge of the Sith, is he fails. Overt evil wins, at least for 20 years until it gets stopped. But overt evil ends up winning, and I was super excited for this because I'm like, we've seen the young man story with the prequels, we've seen the old man story with the originals. What about the in between? How do we get from this PTSD person? How do we get to the original trilogy? And that's why I'm super excited for the show because what stories are they gonna fucking tell?
Yeah, and to wrap it all up as far as what the synopsis of the first episode is, because I mean the show doesn't have a full synopsis about because they don't want to spoil what they're gonna do with the characters or whatever. So a lot of this becomes kind of like a surprise or whatever. But episode mostly is about these Inquisitors. They have the Grand Inquisitor, the fifth brother, and then the third sister trying to find a Jedi named Nari. Forgot how they pronounce it, but Nari. But Kenobi is working at this meat factory, which is kind of funny because I've always wondered what people do for jobs in the Star Wars.
Motherfucker's just making meat cubes all day.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. But he's over there. He's watching over young Luke Skywalker after all the shit he's done to his father, aka Anakin, aka Darth Vader. And while Kenobi refuses to help Nari due to him looking over Luke, Reva, who is the third sister, she basically hires a group of bounty hunters to lure Kenobi by stealing Leia. And that's essentially, there's a lot more that happens, but firstly, gotta talk about the third sister, Reva. She is fucking terrifying. She reminds me essentially of how Kylo Ren was in the beginning of Force Awakens, where she just walks up and she's like, "Where the fuck?" You know what I mean? I love her.
Outside of there's a few scenes where I'm like, "Ooh, that's a little choppy," but there's other times where she's dealing with Owen the first time. It goes, I know something, and I'm always gonna be in it because one thing that always takes me out of a movie is when the person has a stand-in. It's like, now it's time for me to yell. I'm in a perfect area to make sure I don't hurt anyone's feelings by yelling to an open, empty room. She's in front of him, he can smell her breath and just start screaming in his face. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm tired of this. Everyone has to be Darth Vader in the fucking Star Wars. Every villain has to be some version of Darth Vader. Nah, give me someone that's a little bit more unhinged. Give me someone that's a little bit angry, a little bit less in control. And I'm like, oh, okay, you're a threat because now I don't know if you're gonna kill. I was like, shit, I know he lives. I'm like, fuck, is he gonna get fucked up?
Yeah, because I don't feel like this is a big spoiler, but I want to let you guys know at least this. So sorry if it is a spoiler, but she chops someone's hand off. And when she does this, for one, it was a lot more badass than that fucking crybaby Luke Skywalker in the first movie. No, my pussy-ass fucking hand.
I mean, you'd be crying too, so cut your fucking hand off, dude.
He could just can you use the Force and go... Oh, wait, we don't know the rules of the Force because it's fucking stupid.
Well, no, you can't regenerate.
Who knows? They might do that fucking next movie. They might turn to a fucking dinosaur. Oh, the Force. That explains everything. Dumb fucking movie. No, sorry, I hate this franchise. But
clearly.
But the thing is she's asking questions with little to no tact. She Reva, by the way. She's over there. She has a straight up fucking attitude. Her hatred for the Jedi is so I feel like it's really interesting considering the fact that it's she is probably making mistakes based on her emotions because she has such a fucking hatred. And, this happens more in the second episode and stuff, but we're talking about the first episode now. It's going to become an issue for me personally later on. But here, fucking amazing. Even the way she disagrees with the fifth brother because he's trying to contain her impulsiveness. He's like, you're going to turn this into a fucking problem, blah, blah, blah. But the way that, and, sorry to be an ass when I say this, but I do feel like Obi-Wan Kenobi is boring. I haven't watched Clone Wars, so whatever. But I think there's nothing here for him to do, and I think while watching this, I was like, I think the show knows there's nothing here for him to do too. So that's why they're building shit with Owen, with Leia, with fucking the Inquisitors, with the bounty hunters, with all this stuff because they're building layers. So if you don't like this one thing, you got all this awesome shit around here to enjoy the show. They're just what Mandalorian did.
See, the thing is, I don't think necessarily there's anything for him to do because, well, of course, he doesn't want to do anything. He makes that explicitly clear during the course of this episode. It's not till the very end that actually things end up changing, where he's like, "Fuck it, I got to go do some shit." Because this is a kid. This is a guy. The last time he did something, he caused a genocide. So he's like, you know what? Maybe I'm not really good at my fucking job, because the last time I did anything, I literally like the clone was sure I ended the Clone Wars, but guess fucking what? The entire Jedi Order fell. So that's why when a dude's like, "I need your help," he goes, "We lost, bro." That's it. I like it because he's a broken down character. Because you don't really get to see that often. Like it's almost like Iron Man 3, but not a colossal piece of shit. Because I fucking hate that. Because like the only thing I liked about Iron Man 3 was, hey, PTSD, hey, guess what? People died, and I life fucking kind of sucks right now for me. Right now, all he's trying to do is trying to make sure it's like, hey, he's trying to keep an eye out for Luke. And it's like, what was he doing for 20 years? He wasn't doing shit. And I was talking to this to my buddy. It's like that happens a lot of times with soldiers after they come back from a war, where it's like they don't really know what to do with their lives. They get a menial job. Hell, fucking Rambo even talks about that shit. You know, you have you're this big general in a war, but as soon as you go back, it's like, the fuck are you gonna do with him? It's like he literally doesn't want to ever leave. He barely ever fucking showers. Dude, if a Jawa calls you out for not showering, you probably should rethink your life choices. But I like that a lot because it shows him being broken, and it makes a lot of sense for why the character in A New Hope, why he's still been there, because it's like, look, the last time I did anything, the entire Jedi Order fell. I am not the man I used to be, and it's been 10 years, and you see that on his face, you see that with his acting, and they put him in the situation where people are like, "Oh, well, more Obi-Wan just doing shit." It's like, well, no. This makes sense for this character that's been this fucking broken, and I really fucking enjoy that because the show is taking its time, and I love that. I like every time I tell someone it's like it's a slow burn, but I love slow burns. If you're taking your time, you keep me in this world, because you brought it up too. It's like we see this dude go to work, and what does he do? He steals a little bit of meat in open fucking plain sight, because whatever. Like, try to hide that shit a little bit, buddy. I'm like, how are you? I'm so worried. I'm like, don't get caught, bro. Just don't get caught. But like, yeah, I want, like, you take your fucking time, because like, what is Obi-Wan's day to day? We know his day to day. What is his feelings about doing anything? We know his feelings. What does Owen and the rest of the people think? They think he's a coward. Like, that makes fucking sense. So by the end of the episode, when he says, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna join the plot, it makes sense why he's so hesitant. He doesn't want to cause any more fucking problems. He just wants to do the one thing he was promised to do. I'm gonna look out for Luke. The moment anything else happens, it's fucking, he's too scared to do anything. And then when they bring in Leia, who is fucking awesome, Kid Leia is more awesome than adult Leia. I'm gonna be real. Like, rest in peace to Carrie Fisher. I like Kid Leia. Like, fuck it, have some fucking fun with this character. Kid Luke doesn't do shit all, but Kid Leia, fuck it, have some fun.
So Leah annoys fuck on me. I think other people bullying her was a really lazy writing choice, and her smart ass attitude doesn't really help me on like. Well, really quick. It's like, you know, it doesn't really help me not wanting people to fuck with her, because I don't feel sorry for someone who doesn't need someone to feel sorry for them. Like, Leia can handle her own shit and shit talking. And part of her being picked on and being irritated is the fact that people are rude to droids, which was like, she's reminding me of people, and I mean, I don't mean anything by this by anyone watching, because I know people have pets and they care about animals and everything, but I really fucking hate people who consider animal life more important than human life, and it becomes their gimmick. Like, that's like their whole personality. Like, I don't like motherfuckers are like you ever been to a person's house, and I'm gonna accept that everyone's probably gonna say no, but I've been to a person's house where like they see a cockroach and I'm like, let's kill a motherfucker, let's get it, and he's like, no, let's hold it and let's take the cockroach outside and let it fly.
Well, there are people that do that with mostly with spiders. I think everyone's gonna see a cockroach destroyed, but it was less about like her like treating all light, but she just straight up says like, it's good manners.
It's
like,
a fucking droid. It doesn't even feel anything. Like, what?
Well, actually, that's the exact conversation they end up having. But like, that's the same way people deal with servants, where they're like, oh, it's a servant, who gives a shit. That's what that guy thinks. With her, it's like she clearly had good parents. Because the parents are like, always be respectful to everybody, always thank them, because it's good manners. Because if she's able to thank a regular droid, she's not going to think a poor person or anyone beneath her station is any less. Much like her fucking dude who looks like that guy from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the live action movie. He looks just like him. It fucking throws me off. But basically, when they're having that conversation, she goes, "Oh, he's a lower life form. That dude's gonna do the same thing to poor people, or aliens, or people he doesn't deem to be at his station. He's gonna be one of those politicians that's probably gonna be okay with slavery because he deems them lesser. Where she's like, no, I'm treating everyone properly, because that's what the character grows up. She grows up to help everybody, because she grew up like, hey, everybody, even droids. That's why she deals with the CPO and R2D2 so easily, because she's like, fuck it. I know that even though they're technically lower life forms, they still have value. So I'm going to be proper to them as I would be proper to anybody else. And when she calls them out, I'm like, you know what? Cool. You almost could have been too obnoxious. So I get why people hate Kid Leia. Because, again, as soon as they see somebody, a little girl that can stand up for herself, suddenly the entire internet just loses their shit. But I'm like, no, I kind of like that, too. Especially in the second episode. Like, we won't go into that, but especially some of the stuff that goes in the second episode. I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. She thinks she's immortal, and she thinks she can do no wrong. So I kind of like this character. And it makes sense, especially with her character in The New Hope, how she ends up being and how she gets introduced to Obi-Wan. So I generally did like that character.
Yeah. But to wrap up my review, and then we're gonna do the second episode too, because I just realized somebody in the chat, or it was Ganja. He said that the new episode's tomorrow, so I don't want to
Oh
do.
shit, it is.
I don't want to be a
Yeah.
whole week late or whatever. So we're gonna do episode 2, and then tomorrow Ganja
Okay.
can wrap up what he thinks about 1 and 2 while he does episode 3. Anyways,
Perfect.
but yeah, tone of the show so far to wrap up my review of it basically is that I think it's very close with Mandalorian, pretty fucking adult, which I love. I don't like the shit with Layla, but that could grow to be interesting later on, which it does prove to be. I mean, it's a little bit as far as episode 2 goes, but I do find her still annoying. But especially with the bounty hunters and whoever else our main baddies are going to bring into this mess. So that being said, I do give this show a 3.5 out of 5. So far, it's a whole step above average. It's really, really good. But I'm giving this a higher rating because of what could happen, not necessarily what did happen. I'm interested, and I do feel like Halo. If you're gonna rip somebody off, like, why don't you do something kind of cool like this instead of like shit on everything? Fucking morons. God.
By the
damn
way,
it.
like the last 2 years has been the year of grizzled old dude has to take care of a kid.
Yes.
I get it. To be fair, I kind of like that story because it's something that I always say. There's no such thing as a generic story. It's just the way you tell it. Mandalorian, Halo, exact same storyline, completely fucking different execution, and that's why I had to say because this is a similar thing. Especially, I guess we can go into episode 2 now.
Yeah, we can. Really quick, Nexus Aquarion says, Cerebra from Overwatch is going to be in the new Star Wars series called The Tales of the Jedi. He burns down Ahsoka's village. I have physical proof of this. Well, if you post a link or whatever, then maybe you can look at it. Maybe. We'll see, but I don't know much about Overwatch or anybody.
I literally thought you were talking about the video game. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. So I'm fucking done.
Again, Ganja probably knows a lot more about the extended universe stuff, but when it comes to this kind of stuff, like I don't really know third, fifth, Grand Inquisitor. I don't really know this stuff because to me, it's like watching the Marvel TV shows and you've only watched a couple Marvel movies. It's like there's so much that they're taking from that I don't really know. So I'm just hoping the show explains it. But when you get to the second episode where it's like, okay, Obi-Wan's like, hey, Leia got kidnapped. At the time, we figured out during the episode
did you give
exactly.
your name for the first episode?
Oh, no. To me, it's I don't want to say it's a 4 because there are some choppy acting scenes that I didn't particularly like, and one of it was from Reba, where I felt like there are times where she was great, but in the alley when she's talking to Fifth Brother, I'm like, ooh, that's kind of bad. Could you do another take? Like, I know the rest of the internet is tearing her down because, oh, hey, it's a woman in Star Wars and person of color, so we have to destroy them. God forbid they're not fucking perfect right away. But there are times I'm like, okay, no, you actually are a threat. I like what you're going with. And we find another character that's just not trying to be Darth Vader again, so fuck it. But everything with Obi-Wan, everything with Owen, everything that was going on with the visuals and how just good everything fucking looks. The CG's pretty fucking good. This is definitely 3.75. I want to go just in the middle, like a little bit better. The second episode is holy shit. The second episode is what I wanted out of the entire Boba Fett series. Yeah, like the entire Boba Fett thing is what I give it episode 2. And just a quick thing, we jump in, it's like, okay, so Leia's been kidnapped. We don't know why till later on. But basically,
God damn, he ain't let me talk at all. Fucking
I'm
shit.
sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm excited. I like the second episode a lot.
Well, because like I want to retell everybody, like, yeah, no spoilers, and I do have a slight notes to put here. So the reason why I want to like go and talk about this is because I know for sure that I won't spoil anything, and I know you don't spoil shit either. But who knows? I was really careful with this shit because nerds beat fucking nerds. But yeah, basically the synopsis of this next episode. The Inquisitor's bounty hunters take Leia to this place called Dayu, and Kenobi follows, but meets some fucking guy. Is that Kumail Nanjiani, the guy from the Eternals?
I mean, he's the actor, yeah, but he's not the character.
Oh no, of course not. No.
I don't know, man.
But yeah, no, I don't like what he was doing here. But he's basically impersonating a Jedi. His name's Haja, but he basically helps Kenobi and tells him where Leia is. And when Kenobi fucks these people up, the Grand Inquisitor finds out and he looks into the city. Or doesn't look at it. He locks the city down. And the thing is like it was kind of weird because the Inquisitors, or at least like the third sister and what's his fucking, I forgot his name actually, but the fifth brother, they started having like a discussion about this. Like her whole thing about like not necessarily like she's not making the right decisions based on her anger. It starts to really affect like the Inquisitors. But then aside from that though, Leia starts because like she's like, hey, I want to put a fucking bounty on Kenobi. Like I want his ass too on top of that fucking little girl because I know that this happened because he beat up my guys and shit, right? So this happens, but now Leia runs away because she's like, holy shit, I can't trust this guy because he's supposed to be keeping me safe, but now we're both fucking like in trouble here. And yeah, I mean, I won't tell you what happens next, but I mean, he's chasing her down. She's doing, and I knew, and now we can get into a thing where we can both talk. But like, as soon as I saw Leia in the first episode, I was like, countdown to when she's gonna run, and some fucking man's gonna chase that dumb bitch all over the fucking place because you don't want to fucking listen. I fucking hate kids in movies like this, dude.
Oh no, I knew that was gonna happen too, and I was like, okay. I was like, I wonder how they're gonna explain it. And they explained it. Hey, I just got kidnapped. She thinks she's immortal because she was raised that way with Rich, so she doesn't believe anything is real. She thinks an army is coming as opposed to one dude. She sees this dude as a bounty, so she thinks he's another criminal just gonna sell her off. I was fine by me because I'm like, okay, yeah, she's 10. Like, she's 10 years old. She's gonna do some shit that's dumb. Like, it's okay for characters to make stupid decisions in movies and not think they're a terrible character, because guess what? She's a child. She doesn't understand. But the moment something happens where she almost gets got, her thing changes. She trusts him. She's like, fuck it. I'm with this guy now. I'm not gonna. She doesn't do any. At least we don't know what's gonna happen in episode 3. But for the rest of the time, she doesn't do. She just listens to him and she doesn't do anything else. She follows his directions exactly afterwards. But for the majority of this episode, him trying to find her, I really like that because it does what Boba Fett should have done. It goes into the more criminal underbelly. First time he's in there for like 5 minutes and someone immediately offers him drugs. Like, we start to see the really darker underbelly of what the Star Wars universe is. And there's a character that we've seen being the highlight, being the shining beacon of hope, going underground and basically blowing up a meth lab and doing like a lot of like really grungy shit. And just seeing him kind of figure out his way and just kind of like, he does a lot of cool stuff where it's like it's still Kenobi under there, but you can tell he's very different. He's not the same like hello there type shit. He's very much like he doesn't really want to be here, but he also knows how to get out of every situation. And he doesn't do a lot of his Jedi shit till very near the end of the episode because he's like, I don't really want to be a Jedi anymore. I just want to just do this thing and just be done with it.
Yeah.
And I really like that because it makes sense. It's not a situation where it's like in Halo where it's like, why are you doing this? Alien magic. Why is Obi-Wan acting the way he is? He caused genocide last time he left his fucking Tatooine. I get it. Like, it makes sense why this character's so hesitant. Whereas, like, it could have easily just been a situation where it's like, if you didn't build this up, because the show starts off with a recap of the fucking prequels. And if you cut Star Wars down to about 7.5 minutes, it's really fucking good.
Really quick, so I looked in the chat. So Ganja was right. So thank you, Nexus, for finding that. But I'm going back and forth like Wednesday, Friday. But yeah, thank you. It's on Wednesday. So
okay, yeah.
Literally after the show, for most of you guys can go watch episode.
Oh, I'm so dude. I need that next episode, man. Because fuck, like one thing I was not expecting with this, because when it comes to Star Wars, I don't know why they do this. It might be personally to piss me off. Most of the movies, except for the prequels, so we're gonna have one fight in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Just one. And if you're talking about the original, oh boy, you better wait till fucking Empire or fucking the sixth one. I keep confusing A New Hope and Return of the Jedi because they're confusing as fuck and the names are terrible.
Yeah.
The names of Star Wars are all bad except for Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, no, I like Empire because Revenge of the Sith makes me think of the other Revenge of the something because they use that.
Is it the Nerds?
No, like because isn't there another movie in the prequels that has like something at the Sith or Revenge of the something?
No, the first one's The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and then Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, I'm thinking of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, no, I confuse Return of the Jedi and just which one is Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
the
but
one
they're so uncreative that even their fucking titles sound the same. Like,
it's not that they're uncreative; it's that they're confusing as fuck and they don't actually.
And like the Last Jedi, there's not even a Last Jedi. There's more Jedi. Like you guys are lying in your fucking title. Like
titles are terrible. But any fucking way, the fifth and sixth movie, fuck, because that's the only way we're gonna fucking get what's going on. Empire is the most unique name and the best name in the franchise. Revenge of the Sith is number 2. But my point is, there's very little fighting. There's very little fighting, very little fucking sword fighting, lightsaber fighting. In Revenge of the Sith, there is thank you for following.
Golden Bee, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate that.
But watching Revenge of the Sith, there's a fucking lightsaber fight every 10 minutes. That fucking movie, they're all fucking amazing, including the last one, which is one of the best fight scene the franchise has ever had. With this, they're like, okay, if you know what, fuck it, we're gonna give you some fucking fight scenes, and they're pretty good. My rule when it comes to action is very simple. You don't have to have a lot of it, but everything better be fucking good. And with this, like, we get some pretty decent hand-to-hand, some pretty good shootouts. Like, you could tell it's a bit on a set because they wanted to go on a budget, but I'm like, hey, I know where all the actors are, I know where the fucking lasers are going, and I know where they're having a tough time because guess what? Aiming is fucking difficult. So it's like, it was a lot of fun just kind of seeing, and you see the tension where you're like, who's going to get hurt? Who's going to die? Is he going to get her? Like, what's going to end up happening? And then Third Sister is like, I like Batman. Batman stands like this, right? And she's just doing her Batman thing the whole fucking time. I was laughing my ass off. Like, you're either Batman or Daredevil, or like, I don't know what the fuck are you doing. Are you gonna jump down? Oh, you are. Now we're Underworld. We're totally just Underworld.
Yeah, the Underworld. Yeah, the side profile. And
like, this is just Underworld right now. And
yeah.
Look, look, was it goofy her running on the rooftops? Yeah. Did I like it? Yeah. Is it goofy as fuck? Fuck it. Have some fun.
Well, we gotta talk more about that in general because what's more goofy, for one, I think Reva's rebelliousness in this episode and some choices she makes that we won't go too far into, but they're starting to make her look like a dumbass villain. Because like I liked her in the first episode, I thought she was fucking great, but then in my opinion, there's like a trope in science fiction superhero properties because her emotion, and this happens like in every Marvel thing ever, but like her emotion's so fucking crazy, and all of her decisions are based and driven by this emotion that it becomes a weakness. Like literally, it's getting to a point where she's helping the fucking good guys because she can't fathom how to control her fucking anger. And I'm like, well, 2 episodes in, and you lost your mind that much just because you can't find the fucking people. Like, ooh, like it's so fucking stupid. And it's like every Star Wars villain has done this. Every single fucking one. Every Batman villain has done this. Every fucking Marvel villain has done it. Like only Thanos didn't. He's the only one who didn't. But
no. The reason it didn't bother me here is because that's her character flaw. Is she's so ambitious, she's so angry, and I think they basically show in the first episode. I think she was one of the kids during Order 66, so she just blames Obi-Wan because it technically like at the end of the day, like he can be directly responsible.
Exactly. Because good guy, bad guy.
Pretty much. But my thing is that like I'm fine with that because again, I'm fine with that character flaw because I'm so sick of I was the whole time I'm perfectly calm, but there's one moment I just freak out at the very end because we have to find a way to beat me because we're super powerful and we're just going to show you a bunch of kids and then suddenly I'm going to die of sadness. Like, yeah, the ending of Doctor Strange sucked. But like you're just a villain the whole time, but suddenly you lose control at the very end when you're about to fucking win. It's like, no, this clearly shows she is blinded by her temptation. She's blinded by her ambition, which is the exact same thing the Jedi train against. Like Obi-Wan is he's tried to train Anakin against that. He's seen Padawans deal with that kind of stuff. And the whole point of the Jedi Order is to try to curtail those emotions. So we already know right now, it's like, this is the fight that's going to be between these two is like, because the fight between him and Vader is just going to be a situation where they're going to fight and then they're going to meet again in a new Hope. Whatever the fuck the fourth one's called. I'm going to get these wrong. Don't fucking sue me. But like, that fight is just going to be for fan service, but the real show is going to be between those two because it's going to be a situation where is Obi-Wan going to be able to forgive himself for fucking up with Anakin? He's going to try to redeem her in some way, or at least just fight her and try to curtail her emotions. Because right now she is so focused on killing him that she is disregarding everybody around her. And I really like that because it adds a lot of depth to the character. Because Kylo Ren was just like, I am Darth Vader Jr. And now I'm a crackhead. And I'm Darth Vader Jr. again. I'm like, and then I'm a good guy. I'm like, seriously? Pick a fucking arc. Don't go through every arc in like 30 fucking seconds. With this, like, I can see where the character is going. And just because you can see the ending of a ride doesn't make the ride any less fun.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, as far as, because like, I guess, because we want to talk about something and wrap it all up, but like I don't want to reveal it, even though I think you said something that might have revealed it technically. But it's not a big deal. Oh, I can't say it now.
Oh yeah.
But but there's something that's alluded to that we're about to get more nostalgic with the series moving forward. That happens at the very end, and obviously you know what I'm talking about, Alan. But that being said, is there any non-spoiler ways that you can kind of like tell me what you think about them going in that particular direction? Because obviously this is a big thing. Me personally, I'll just say my piece on it. I think it's a good thing because it's clearly what the non-crazy Star Wars fans want. And Kenobi is a character that lives and dies by other characters, whether they be Luke, Darth Vader, or whatever. So we need to kind of stay in the past. That's just that's why this show fucking exists. So that being said, non-spoilerly, like, do you like how this ended, and does it make you more interested or less interested?
Extremely so. In fact, it makes me wish that there's going to be a season 2, but I could see them not wanting to necessarily drag this out. So 6 episodes, like it's just me. I just always want more. Like I'm never really satisfied with what I have. But as far as where it goes forward, like if they're gonna be, especially again, because God keeps loving to call me ass. Because the only reason I liked episode 2 was because of the fight choreography, even though I literally just gave a bunch of explanations. But why I like it, but at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I want to see what they're going to do with small-scale sword fighting, because clearly they're going to have the lightsabers do a thing. I want to see a battle with this. I want to see him, like, I want to see I want to see fucking Obi-Wan really not being able to handle lightsaber, probably because he detached himself from the Force and doesn't necessarily want to be a fucking Jedi. I want to see that because, again, this show feels like it's taking its time. Unlike Boba Fett, which felt like it just was meandering and going nowhere, this actually feels like it has a forward-moving aggressive. There's an end point that we already know that's fixed. There's the start point they're in with the prequels, but the in-between stuff is interesting. And I want to see what else are they going to bring up. Like, is he going to meet Ahsoka at some point? Because Ahsoka's right now is still technically doing her thing. So is he going to see like a teenage or young adult version of her? Like, what's going to end up happening with this character? And as far as Leia, like, are they going to keep her for the 6 episodes? Or because for me, my theory, and this is my theory, I think that episode 3, she's gonna get rescued and just brought back home, and okay, cool. I'll see you in 20 fucking years. Yeah. Like Baby Yoda, I'm gonna see you in 10 fucking years. Then we're by the way, now I'm on the run because they're after me. Okay, cool. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna fight some people, and then I'm just gonna go right back home after I've dealt with the problem. Like that's why I think this dude's gonna go, and I'm excited because I like action. Who doesn't fucking want to see a cool lightsaber fight? Is it bad to want to see that? Like, I want some character development. I want some cool fucking lightsaber battles.
Yeah, I mean, I think all lightsaber battles except for Darth Maul was trash. I don't like them.
No, Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan versus Anakin Skywalker is the best in the entire fucking franchise. Nothing's ever beaten that one.
Yeah. But overall, I'm gonna give just a really quick rating of this. This was not as good as the first one. I give this a 3 out of 5. Because I feel like the Inquisitors could have been used more. I feel like they were not used anywhere near as much as they were in the first one. And the thing is, they became typical villains that I already know exactly. I know exactly what episode they're gonna die and how they're gonna do it. I know exactly what everything's gonna happen next because they just became just like everybody else in the second episode. Where in the first episode, I was kind of like, whoa, this is interesting. What's gonna happen? And you did exactly what I knew you were gonna fucking do. Fucking garbage. I don't know who's making all that money doing the writing of these fucking things, but when you do shit like that, you do not deserve your fucking paycheck. And yet, all the money's gonna flush right in. You're gonna make $1 billion fucking dollars, and there's gonna be another show about some guy's neighbor in Tatooine, which we're still on Tatooine, guys. Technically with the first episode. The second episode, we're in Dayu and some other places, but still, it's like just the same shit. This episode, it was good, but it's just the same shit, and I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next. But if they're gonna keep doing the same shit, I'm not rewarding this fucking show. I'm not. Fuck that. That's bullshit. Mandalorian is actually doing something different, so fucking follow them. But yeah, 3 out of 5 for me. Alan, would you rate this?
This to me was better than first episode. Because it gave me a chance to see a different world. It gave a chance to see the characters grow a little bit more. It gave a chance to see what is Obi-Wan going to be doing after. Because you see him in the prequel, and he's very forward. He's very by the rules, and even to the extent here, he's very by the rules. But you can tell he's willing to deal with criminals. He's willing to deal with basically just do anything it takes to find the person he's supposed to find. And just seeing the third sister do her thing, I'm like, okay. And yet again, I disagree with it. Just because you know how something's going to end doesn't make it any less interesting. Doesn't make it any less exciting. It's a situation of like, again, it's like I said with the last fucking movie we watched. There's no such thing as a generic story. It's an execution. And seeing this, I'm like, okay, you're able to see this bond work. Because one of the things where it's like in a new, the fourth one, which is Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. I'm like, okay, cool. This to me makes a lot of sense because she sees as a kid, oh, this guy came and saved my fucking life. That to me, that enriches the franchise. It's like, okay, now that makes a lot of sense. So when you watch, the 4 Star Wars movie again, she goes, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. You don't have to ask yourself, what's it? Well, actually, he saved her life as a kid. That makes perfect fucking sense. Why she's gonna rush to him immediately as opposed to anybody else in the universe, or why she knows he's still around. Like, it adds a lot to there. Where it's a situation where it's like I've always said, making something in the past better in the future. It's always when you know it's starting and ending, you're able to do a lot of interesting stuff with that. What the fuck? Oh,
no,
okay.
no, I'm just asking because they're saying like usable toaster rating, but it's like I think more people know the out of 5 rating more so than fucking...
4 out of 5. What could that possibly mean? Yeah. Better than 6.
Yeah. Well, no, but that's the thing. Then it'd have to be an out of 6. That would make no sense. And plus, like I'm gonna be honest, my Terminator 2 is my favorite movie of all time. It's not better than 6.
The Dark Knight's my favorite movie of all time. It's not better than 6.
Yeah.
It's better than Terminator 2 though.
And to be honest, I never paid full price for Terminator 2. So I love that movie, but I can't give it a full price because I never gave it full price. So
I've never seen I've only seen the Dark Knight theaters once, and that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah. So I don't know. But
look, again, everyone has their own scale, but speaking the 4 out of 5, it's like sometimes 4 out of 5 just it's simple. It makes sense. It's easily divisible. You can add points and take away points as need be. But yeah, just to wrap it up, I like where this is going, and I'm liking to see the characters. At the end of the day, if you're telling me a story I've already seen, make it worth make it worth my time, and it does. There's Easter eggs, there's references, there's great acting, there's great moments, and by the end of the episode, I want to see more. I can't wait till tomorrow just to fucking see what else is gonna fucking happen. Because unlike Boba Fett episode 1 and episode 2, the only good one, where I was like, okay, 50%. The episode 3 was a piece of shit and it just kept going bad. The 2 episodes that were just Mandalorian season 3 were pretty good, but like Boba Fett was just a waste of time. Where this is 2 episodes, boom. This to me is 4 to 5. Like the acting got way better. I liked a lot of what's going on with the characters. I like a lot of the world is going on. And one of my favorite premises in an action movie ever is the Smoking Aces story of we're getting every bounty hunter in the goddamn city after you. That's my favorite fucking storyline. I love that shit. Smoking Aces 1 and 2, I'm not gonna say they're great movies, but they use the premise really, really well. So seeing it here, I'm like, okay, I'm having a lot of fun. How's he gonna get through this? And yeah, he gets through it pretty well. But I didn't need some lightsaber battle. I'm so sick of seeing lightsabers. I don't give a shit. Lightsabers are cool as fuck. I have 3 behind me, and a sword, and a real sword. Like, swords are cool. I don't give a shit what century you're in. Swords are fucking badass, and I want to see a fucking red versus blue lightsaber battle. Like, I hope they happen in the next episode, and if they don't, that's fine. Give me something else to sit through. But 4 out of 5 to me, it's like, yeah, world building, taking your time, taking breaths when need be, developing these characters. I'm like, okay, cool. You're doing a lot of good shit. Keep this up.
Yeah. But that being said, guys, we're gonna be leaving. We're gonna wrap it all up. I'm gonna raid Mr. Revit and 7.
Yes.
Wait, what the fuck? I'm trying to write it in here. It's not working. What the fuck's going on there, buddy? But yeah, I'll be giving them that raid. But the thing is, though, do you have any announcements or anything? I should check with you, but like,
no announcements. I know that it's been such a fucking long time since I've streamed. I do plan to go back to it. It's just my life's been kind of a mess the last couple of weeks. So yeah. I'm trying to get a consistent schedule, and unfortunately, I don't have a consistent work schedule, which means I can't consistently stream. The last thing I want to do is stream tomorrow for like 3 hours and then not stream again for a week.
Yeah, and it wouldn't mean much if we do that. So.
Exactly. I'd rather just be a situation where it's like, I know my work hours, I know my streaming hours.
Yeah. But that being said, guys, we're going to go. We'll be back tomorrow to do episode 3 of Kenobi. And even if Alan's not here or whatever, like, I'll still do the Kenobi 3 thing. And then probably a Bit Bounty. So yeah, we'll get into that tomorrow. It's going to be some fun stuff. So reviews tomorrow versus the recaps. We only do recaps with the new shit. So straight up review for, by the way, for recaps, because these are supposed to be like non-thought provoking, like just whatever. We said a lot of shit for some recaps. So next time I'm just going to write review because that, I mean, if
you review, yeah. Like honestly, if someone calls us out, that's not a proper review. Honestly, I literally had a thing where we talked about it on the show and other shows. Reviews are subjective. Everyone has their own style of doing a review. And if you've already seen the movie, then fucking ask a question in the chat if you want us to specify something more. If you haven't seen the movie, us going all over the place shouldn't really bother you as long as we don't spoil things.
Yeah, but anyways, guys, that being said, we're going to get the fuck out of here. Music's not playing. Goodbye. Stay toasty. We'll talk to you guys later. And tell Mr. Herman that we sent you all over. Give him some love in the chat. I got nothing else to say.
Batman versus E.T. needs to happen.
That would be so fucking dumb.
I know the plot already. He comes back after 20 years, and one of the kids that was there was Batman.
That is so stupid.
Oh yeah, Batman versus E.T. wasn't already dumb to begin with.
That's as dumb as